us on how we should pay them back. Your microphone is off. It's just for the record because I know there are very many questions.
Honorable Chair, the Honorable Minister explained that there were negotiations.
I am not asking the Minister, I'm asking you.
That there were negotiations which took place between the Minister of Finance and UNRWA and the Exim Bank of China. And it culminated into an agreement which was signed with certain conditions. So if there is anything to be interrogated, it can be interrogated based on those negotiations, those who participated in the negotiations and agreed on those terms and conditions which are contained in the financing agreement and the subsequent agreements for the O&M.
Honorable Emma.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. For the record, I'm Engineer Lukola Emmanuel. I want to take this, my questions to Engineer given these jobs. I think opportunity. You're given a job registered. This job. Like, so if you would help us now, we need to have that so that we can know how they got this project. Yet they're a security company. Thank you.
You know why he's asking? In your presentation you said Abu Bakar was doing maintenance of the road, Pinnacle was providing security. Now you have had, yes, and everything is being recorded.
Okay, but you want to clarify? We can further clarify when we say security. Now, it may be for simple terms to the committee. We could have called it security, but to engineers like us, we call that highway operations and management. So it's more than security. It includes 24/7 route patrols, which are done every 6 hours and more, because they attend to over 10,000 incidents, I think in a month or per day. So that is one of the components. We also have the second component, which is incident management. That is attending to accidents, attending to roadside events, attending to help from the users. That's the second one. They also undertake customer management. When you dial the toll-free number, they are on call. They are the ones in charge of that. That was their component. As part of the security you're talking about, they also secure the toll plazas. We have 3 toll plazas, which are highly secured by Pinnacle. Maybe that is the component that is purely security, you can say that. But security in our side extends beyond security to highway operations and management.
I don't think your explanation has helped. What
Yes,
you
it helped me.
Because now Pinnacle is in charge of the toll. It means they have everything that the ministry didn't have. People have been providing security at the tolls, security guards. People have been receiving toll-free calls. People have been patrolling. Now they have taken over the toll. And you engineers, a whole ministry, whole government cannot do this.
Yes. And then you've also not explained to me that they are collecting, because you told us they are collecting from the toll gate.
Yes.
And so that's why I'm asking those articles and memorandum. You see, you don't have to go buying.
Yes.
We all know these things, okay? Don't be book smart. We're also book smart.
Yes, apologies. Yeah, so they also do tolling operations. I thought I was addressing security, but yes, they do tolling operations. They collect revenue on behalf of government, but strictly supervised by the ministry as well.
And that's why I'm asking, can't you avail us with the articles and memorandum of that company so that we can see if they are qualified to carry that work?
They are here.
Yes, sir.
Can we have your articles?
Yes, Chair, and Honorable Member, we shall be able to send you the memorandum.
Chair, for the record, who is this gentleman?
My name is Ivan Katamba. I'm the road manager of Kampala Entebbe Expressway under Pinnacle Security, sir.
Okay.
Through you, Chair, may I request that you give them maybe 30 minutes to avail that? Because we need these questions to be answered very well.
You have been given. In 30 minutes to provide your articles.
Prepared the request for proposal to engage the O&M contractor, the operation maintenance contractor. Did you take care of local content? You know, the policy to develop or include our own actors. You know, we have seen local contractors coming in, even if Pinnacle coming in. Was it deliberate in that RFP that a local Ugandan firm would be incorporated to work alongside Aegis or another foreign firm? Number two is on road maintenance. In road maintenance, I know you have got very well developed service standards, like the size of potholes, the size of cracks, the size of depressions, rutting, raveling, and then the condition of the drainage monthly basis. Are you doing this on a quarterly basis? How often are you doing this? And what are your results? Lastly, for the benefit of this committee, I know Engineer One has been not looked at fairly well.
By who?
No, by some people.
Who are those people?
Not necessarily. No, I just want to throw some light. No. Something. Let me help the committee, Mr. Chairman, if you allow me.
Are you helping us or Engineer? Let us hear.
Exception of the O&M contractor. I don't know whether this helps.
Let him give it to us since he says he knows.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Honorable.
Immediately he became a minister. As my colleague was saying, I saw him on TV. We who come from Masaka, take Masaka Road and use the express highway. And he gave instructions, and the contractor who was there, who had delayed there for a long time, immediately finished. So Mr. Chairman, I want to appreciate the remarks of Honorable Byanyima. when he says the ministry should own up and we forge ahead, owning up, which didn't go well with Fred, with the Minister of Transport. Owning up means, because the Honorable Minister, you were partially there in the ministry as the Minister of State. Now you are the one in charge. These engineers were there. And Mr. Chairman, engineering is not a course read by mediocre students. They are extremely intelligent guys, these ones. So you can't win. You can't win with their B-choose, with their what, the extremely complex issue we are handling. Minister of Finance officials in syndicate with your engineers here. Because this gentleman here, the clerk, has run through the argument. You are telling us tissues of lies. They are telling us lies, Mr. Chairman. Is she called Joan, the red over there? She is saying that it was a contractual provision to have a toll what? A corrector. It's not any new agreement. We have it here. You'd rather say that the minister then, whom I don't remember, 2019. Hello, why are you looking behind? It's not in your contract, it is here. We have it. You have said that it was in your contract, that it was a requirement, a contractual requirement. It's not anywhere. It was an internal arrangement by the Ministry of Works and Transport. Headed, is it by Honorable Byabagambe then? I don't know. 2019. I don't know who is the minister. To have a contractor, to have a road toll corrector. So please, that's why Honorable Byabagambe is saying, we leave all that crap. Because we can't win with you. We leave it, we forge ahead, but you should also know that now... So don't take us for granted. Don't take a country for granted. People are making passionate appeals. Are you happy when you move around in the country that a contract is given a road for 7, 8 years and the road never gets finished? Are you happy? There is a road from Ntinda to Kabaka's house there in Chambogo. The road has been there for years. Years, just in Kampala. And other roads in the country. So when people are making passionate appeals, are you happy, you as Ugandans? We know you are intelligent fellows. Engineering is not read by mediocre students. You are an extremely monotonously intelligent people. But don't really shake this country to its very roots.
Okay.
I'm making a passionate appeal. You read over there. I don't know your name. Joan is not a name. What is her spinster or husband's name? Joan is not a name, this English name. I want an African name. An African name. Arinda. Madam Arinda. That's a true name. We are making a passionate appeal to you and your leadership of Honorable Mukama.
waiting for Igis. I was delving through their website. 2, now the contract has been given to Pinnacle. There is no evidence on the website of Pinnacle for having done the management of road toll in any part of this world. Now, on what basis was Pinnacle given this project for management of the tolling on Entebbe Express Highway? What is only provided as services offered by Pinnacle in their website is integrated security management and risk management. Ministry of Works.
Thank you. To add on what Honorable is saying,
He's giving information on it.
we want you to provide the experience of Pinnacle on the toll gate business. We also want to check in that experience if they have handled the amounts, the specific contracts, to this tune of amount of money they are managing right now. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you so much for the information. But to move further, Engineer Emma, there is no report on Pinnacle doing any management of road tolling. This is the first of its kind in Uganda, in the world. We are doing experimentation. So, Ministry of Works, you owe Ugandan a lot. Why Igis was given the contract, it was on the basis that there was no company in Uganda which had experience, capacity in the management of road tolling. Then, how did Pinnacle come in?
Chair.
So that is, as I head towards the finishing, Chair, we need, 1, the innovation agreement that they are saying they have.
We have it already.
We have. Then 2, the due diligence report. Then 3, the extended addendum. Then 4, the performance bond. And then the KPI report. Because on 24th of May 2027, on the 8th of May 2026, when the contract was given to Pinnacle and extended for 1 year, there was no any additional cost. No cost. And therefore, we may need these 6 documents to proceed. But otherwise, Minister, I want to say with the melancholy that Ministry of Works is doing things prospectively.
I need to be guided. The meaning of the statement.
Melancholy simply means highest degree of sadness. With the highest degree of sadness, I'm not happy with this kind of work of Ministry of Works. Why? Even when there was a transition from Rift Valley, sorry to use this as an example, to Uganda Railway Corporation, a problem of this nature is already being imminent. No handover report, no nothing. And when you ask Uganda Railway Corporation, they are blaming what? Rift Valley. Now the same thing, Ministry of Works is blaming HUNRA. Why did you accept HUNRA to be rationalized? So, as I conclude, Minister and the technical personnel of Ministry of Works, let us not put the cart before the horse. You are doing things retrospectively. Even now you are saying introducing the tolling, the digital and so on. Now, our number plates, most of us are not digital. How are you going to track? How are you going to identify? Just like you brought in Igis, road tolling, even before the roads were constructed, we said the time the road was being constructed. Ministry of Works could have built on its capacity to collect this revenue on behalf of the government. Okay. Showcase why this committee should not suspect collusion by the technical team with Iggy's and now Pinnacle to siphon taxpayers' money with impunity because it has become common dubious. I beg to submit.
It's really a state of melancholy. Deputy Chair, then Honorable Zado can also.
Chair, Pinnacle can only be exonerated if we agree with Joan that for them in engineering in the Ministry of Works, security can mean anything. You heard her saying that for them in the Ministry of Works, engineering, security means anything.
Even collecting money.
Even collecting money. She's on record. She said it here. So if she can qualify that, then we can say it's okay. You said it on record that for you in the Ministry of Works, engineering, security means anything.
The good thing that this session is being recorded since it's an investigation. Whatever she said, she can't take back.
No, I don't want to rescind what I said, but I just want to clarify that I was clarifying against the claim that we said that Iggy's Pinnacle provides security services only. That's what I was trying to clarify. That it provides more than security to the toll.
Including what? Apart from security?
Operation and maintenance services.
Okay, Chair.
What Honorable Fred was talking about, that it looks like Pinnacle was the one running this from the start. Because Pinnacle was providing security at the tolls. Pinnacle was the one collecting the money, even when Aegis was there. Pinnacle was the one doing patrols. Pinnacle was the one on the call center. So what did Aegis do?
So, Chair,
Honorable Chair, through the Honorable Minister, what happened is that...
The question is simple. Yes. What roles did Aegis do?
The roles that Aegis was doing and is currently doing more than is clearly specified in the bid that was submitted by...
Okay, we are asking you, want to understand.
So one of the things is the patrols that they do on the road operation.
Please.
We are on Iggy's chair, but not Pinnacle.
We are still on Aegis because for you to give Aegis a contract, Honorable Fred clearly stated, we needed a company that had the experience of a certain period. But now Aegis has come from France because it has the experience. France, because that's what they told us. Because it has the experience. But all the work is being done by a Ugandan company. So we're asking you, this company that came from France, that had a lot of experience that the ministry didn't have, what did it do?
Chair, let me explain the three parties in the contract. Aegis, Pinnacle, and Abubakar Technical Services. Aegis was doing the branding, marketing, and IT toll system support. Aegis provided the toll system that was used to
the software.
Impact. Yeah, the software, and they still give the support even up to now.
Okay, who signed the contract between government of Uganda to do and the operator? Who signed the contract?
It's Aegis Road Operations.
Aegis signed the contract.
Yes.
So Aegis should have done all these things.
Chair,
but Aegis subcontracted.
Yes.
Aegis subcontracted the security company to do 90% of the work.
Chair, it is 57%,
Okay, we want that other percent that is left.
Yeah, the other percentage is done by Abubakar Technical Services. Abubakar Technical Services, the one that does the road maintenance works. It's not Pinnacle. Pinnacle does the highway operations, which include incident management. They do the tolling operations, including collection of the revenue. And yeah, those are the main ones.
First of all, if you had signed with Aegis to run that, to operate that road, the toll and everything, how come you even know the subcontracts it had with other companies, Ugandan companies? Because that should be Aegis's personal business.
Chair, right from the submission of the bids, one of the emphasis was put on building capacity within the country into toll operations. So Aegis, in the contract that we submitted, which you already have, under introduction, this is the Aegis Road Operations Technical Proposal. I will read it verbatim. The operation and maintenance will be performed by a dedicated company, wholly owned by Aegis Road Operation. The philosophy of Aegis Road Operation is to create a local company dedicated to the project and perform all the operation and maintenance activities in-house. Under there, they presented the two subcontractors in the bid. One of them with Pinnacle, and the other is Abubakar. And in a page further, they clearly specify, this is part 3, which is the Form B subcontractors. Part of the works are stock services, that is traffic and toll operations. The subcontractor that was named in the bid is Pinnacle. And then part of the works for routine maintenance, the subcontractor named here is Abubakar Technical Services.
Engineer Isaac,
yes.
Is it? Is it?
Yes.
So remember, we are just trying to understand the relationship. Now you are telling us Aegis came to do this service for us because it had experience, but it had to develop local capacity.
That's true.
Now we want to understand local capacity. Okay, we support it. If it could develop local capacity with a security company, you, an entire ministry, an entire government, why did it develop capacity with you? Yes, if you say you didn't have experience, ministry didn't have experience. We didn't have CGI, okay, sorry to use a software. Why didn't it develop capacity in the ministry?
Yeah, Honorable,
Honorable Zadok.
Honorable Chair, through the limit.
Just a minute.
Actually, Chair, I wanted to add on that one. Because the way they are speaking, Pinnacle has been able to be on ground and learn and get experience on what to do. So my inquiry was, has the ministry also managed to improve its capacity in terms of managing that? Secondly, they talked of linking the express and so on, and we're expecting other more roads which will have road tolls. Are we going also to be bringing Aegis in a shape of Pinnacle, or you already have the capacity to do that as Ugandans? Because the way you are telling us really, it is as if in Uganda here, the engineering we are doing is not helping us.
Let's ask all the question in regards to this and we conclude.
Thank you, Chair. I came in late. I didn't know the name of the previous speaker. My name is Achiria Grace Padewanzala. I am a member of this committee and I represent the constituency of Butembe in the Jinja district. You have mentioned something interesting, that in the proposal submitted, you named the subcontractors. And the subcontractors are 2. And you are subcontracting 100%. How would you develop the capacity? 2, who is that one who made the name, the subcontractors to be named? The other issue 3, In this procurement, what remained to be the role of Aegis in the day-to-day support to Pinnacle and Baker Technical Services? Because it is now a clear indication that it was a ploy from the very start, that you knew what you were doing and what you were aiming at. In proposal writing, we need to be 100% clear that it is garbage in, garbage out. Convince this committee that there was no prior discussions and that you did it deliberately. If procurement is available, let him tell us what was his value in supporting this entity to prepare a better bid that favors the government of Uganda. Is procurement available? Okay. Thank you.
Honorable Waluswaka and Honorable Chen.
Honorable Chair, I raised a procedural issue about the English people, which I'm waiting for your ruling.
Should I give it now?
Yes, I want to have your ruling on the English before I make my submissions, Chair. Thank you.
We have looked at the email that was sent to Sebalu and their instructions from Aegis. So they are legally able to represent Aegis.
So, Honour Chair, now that they are legally, I congratulate you, especially my brother. This is what we want, and the Chair has ruled. Honour Chair, there are bad things on the road, but there are also good things. In our culture, let me start with the good things. Honour Chair, the good thing is that the road is passable and the travel time from Entebbe to here is totally reduced and the road is in good conditions. The issues of money, I know there must be a problem. But, Honour Minister, you are very good to this committee. And you said these people, what they did extending was bad. But they didn't extend. They gave another company, though the other one was a subcontractor. So, through you, Honour Minister, now that you are in charge, can we know why, even maintenance, you have a maintenance department in the Ministry of Works. Even under UNORA, you had a maintenance department. There was a director in your team who was there. Why did you even, the work of maintenance, and Chair, a road when it is newly constructed, maintenance costs are usually low. I don't know why even maintenance, they had to contract. So, Chair, I want to say that there are good things on the road, but maybe the financial part. And that's why we come in. And Honour Minister, if the issue of security, you would talk about maybe tolling, but Minister of Works, did you write to Uganda Revenue Authority and you tell them that we want to collect money? Did they fail for you to bring another person? 2, did you write, Honour Minister, to Uganda Police on issues of security or military, and they failed you? Now that these people of you, as said, who made a mistake, they have made a mistake of 1 year. Can we know through you, Honour Chair, whether this mistake in the contracts, whether the Solicitor General cleared this new contract? May we know the advert, whether it was international or local? May we get a newspaper where they were calling on bidders to come, so that we know the extension might have been okay, but we need to know how the process. If it was not done, Honour Chair, may we know from the Minister, now that he has powers, when you can maybe terminate or halt this contract so that you write to Uganda Police IGPs in the other meeting. You can even tell him, and the PS is here, you are the one in charge, whether the maintenance department is now dead, and the URA is there. So, Honour Chair, those are some of the few issues, but members, the road is fair, okay. The only issue is management and the legal and the money, where my brother said, I think it was a way of siphoning money. The issue of money, I'm not financially capable, but I think there is a loophole where people left, and that's where everything is passing in, and that is the interest of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Chen, lastly, then they respond. Let them first respond.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Chair. I listened to the presentation and also the report here. To me, IGIS remains the principal contractor to government of Uganda, responsible for their operations as per the terms of the contract. And if indeed there are no procedures followed to ensure that Pinnacle takes over, because under the procurement law of Uganda, the principal contractor takes responsibility, and the subcontractor cannot in any way take over the whole contract. And if the contract with IGIS is still active, I believe it would be IGIS now coming with Pinnacle to support their explanation before this committee, unless Ministry of Works can provide us with proof that, unless they can provide with proof that a fresh process was initiated and Pinnacle took over. Chair, Waluswaka want to provide some.
Chair, the information I want to give my colleague is that when you look at the contract for the construction of the road, Engineer Wani, the other time you were director planning and design, that road, the contractor was supposed to install the tolling system in the contract, even the software in the contract. So, Honourable Minister, I don't know why they brought in English when the contract had that provision of tolling system. That's why that road is very expensive. That was part of the ingredients, putting in those barricades, the tolling system, and now they are bringing English, and they are saying they brought a software and the tolling system, which had already been paid by the Chinese contractor. So that's the information I wanted.
That one is very hot. Let him first respond.
So that one, I was giving my friend, because you have copies of the contracts. They can even avail, we are there. Thank you. That's the information, Honor, I wanted to give.
Honorable Chair, like we said, by that time I was still a station manager in Mbale. I can look at the
Chair was
records
still
and
on the floor.
confirm this.
But that one is hot. Let them first respond, then you continue.
Yes, by that time I was still a station manager in Mbale, managing Mbale station under road maintenance. I may not recollect or may not recall anything related to that contract, particular contract which was implemented.
But you participated in the design of that road.
I never participated in that because I was in maintenance directorate. There was directorate of planning and there was directorate of road maintenance, and by that time I was in the directorate of road maintenance.
Joan seems to be a Christian. Joan, you switch on your microphone. Was the original contract of design of that road, did it incorporate what the honorable member, the software and what?
In the contract, since it was an express highway for tolling Because that road is not the ordinary roads of Butaleja and Mbarara.
Why are you including Mbarara?
Because, Chair, you know Mbarara and I know Butaleja. That's okay. For easy. So, Chair, what I was saying is that the contract, in the original design, the contractor did everything and he was paid. So, I'm shocked when they say English came and supplied software, which was done, came and the tolling, those things which were already installed. So, Chair, on that one, if they are not certain, I think, Chair, for this,
no, no. Before you give them time. Joan.
Chair, when the construction began, I think I was finalizing campus, so I might not be privy to the facts.
Okay, project manager. No, the project manager is there. Who supplied the software?
Chair, I did not participate in the construction. I've only
who supplied the software for the record?
The current software? Or
the software that started the operation of that tool.
It is Aegis that supplied the software.
Okay, you take note of that.
Chair, to the best of my knowledge, if they bring the contract, it's unfortunate, but this committee has powers to bring people who did and the paperwork. That thing had everything. And I'm shocked to hear that because the contract, when you bring the Chinese, and I have some engineers who are there, but through you, Chair, when they bring the documents, you'll come, even the loan which they brought to Parliament, even the integrities, they will tell you, we have done this, the contractor. That's why members were complaining that this express thing is very expensive. And some of the justifications, they were saying, because you have put this, because you have put this software, we are going to put the barricades, we are going to put the technology. So, Chair, that's the information I wanted to give the committee, unless the minister and PS, they have a different issue, but that is the information I have, unless they bring evidence.
We are going to analyze the contract.
Thank you.
And since it's on record from the ministry now, that it's Aegis that supplied the software. So we shall find out who.
You may supply a software, but what about the technology itself? Because the software is like this, like an iPad, but without the software. Who did the hardware?
The hardware.
You may find that they may saying is he brought the hardware when the hardware were paid.
Project manager, who supplied the hardware?
Sir, the system was supplied comprehensively, both the hardware and the software.
By Aegis?
Yes, under the O&M contract.
You have heard. Honorable Chen, finish and they respond to those questions.
Thank you, Chair. With the information provided, we need to justify the relationship between Aegis and Pinnacle and then government of Uganda. Otherwise, we will be meandering and not reaching logical conclusion. Thank you.
That will be our observations as we write the report. Now we are consuming information. Respond to the questions.
Honorable Chair, as Engineer One comes in to respond to the questions, as the other honorable colleagues, they have put it forward. Him and the other two elders who went, including other honorable colleagues, even him, that there are some good things done on that road. We must accept that. But the whole matter is coming up on the issue of money. And when you look at the records we have given you, there is the repayment mechanism agreement for the Kampala-Entebbe Express project, which was signed in March 14, 2012. This is where the whole problem started from. And as good citizens, we must accept there are a lot of challenges on that road. And we consider and accept to own these mistakes which I've identified me and my team, because we are Ugandans and we're in that ministry, we consider and accept those mistakes which are there, and we stand to be guided by this committee. Some of them had identified on how to sort them out. Like he rightly said, we should answer whether there are powers to terminate or to remove that additional 1 year, where the powers were given to them, but that after the 5 years, there's a condition you can give them 2 years renewable or extension, they give them 1 year. We saw those challenges. We consider and take these mistakes and accept they are there. But through your guidance, even our earlier plan we had come up with, we are going to sort them out to ensure they don't continue and even they don't come on other roads. Because I've seen even if you squeeze these committee members, they are giving you the same answers which are not even satisfactory. That's why the question they ask, they are very vital, but you almost got zero answer from Engineer Wani. So we accept these mistakes as a Minister of Works and Transport and give you total commitment that we're going to work forward to solve these challenges. They don't go on, then even they don't come up with the toll expenses we are getting, so that we ensure there's value for money. Because right now as we speak, there are some challenges we can sort out with immediate effect. But there are others which we can solve in the longer term. So as we answer the remaining questions, that's where we are, and we're ready to work with the committee. You guide us further on the way to move, such that the good roads and the same project which came for the good purpose in the country is sorted out. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chair, through the Honourable Minister. I'm just going to address a number of questions, and the first one is to do with the capacity to do the tolling and capacity to do the structuring. So I will address this into two layers. The first capacity we need is of our engineers at the ministry to understand this industry, to be able to structure tolling things properly. Now we will need resources to train the multidisciplinary team, which requires highway engineers, IT experts, because we are going into AI, where we are now. And that means things are going to be done better. And if we don't train these people in terms of that capacity, we are not going to deliver on this tolling system. That's level one. Level two is now the O&M aspects. Now the O&M aspects, what we thought we see from records is that the intention of the authority then was to build local capacity, because this was new industry in the country. And this capacity was going to be built through the experienced company which would come and train local Ugandans. Eventually, when this company goes back, those people would be the pool of people who understand this tolling industry, and they would be the ones to form a company or whatever it is to run this business within the country, because it was for the first time. That's why also to rejoin this response that whether the former UNRA then connived with the Pinnacle and Aegis to transition this way, that was not the intention, because like Engineer Joan explained, this thing went through a competitive process. 10 firms responded. Each firm prepared a proposal on how they were going to implement the tolling process. And in those proposals, the one that turned out to be the best proposal that was accepted to operate this tolling system happened to be Aegis. And Aegis in their proposal indicated that they were going to work with Pinnacle. You see, number two, they were going to work with Abubakar Technical Services. And indeed, the expectation was that within the next 3 years, this local capacity and the local people who were employed by Aegis and these people should have learned how this tolling operation goes. Now, to explain the delay why we could not have an operator within the 5 years, why we went into the innovation to transfer to Pinnacle, was number one. When RAPEX happened, it happened during that time when former UNRA was preparing to advertise and have a new operator under new terms, because all of us know that the current system is not desirable. It is cash-based, and we are saying cash has loopholes. We want to go into a cashless system. So when we came into Ministry of Works, when we started this department, the first thing we did was to deploy these people who understand this system, go and check how this system is working. PS guided us to work with the NITA-U, engagement so that we can have a robust system which will address the current challenges on the system. And that's the process we are on. So the process of developing the new TORs took longer than expected. And we were caught in the process before we could do.
Engineer Wani, just for the record, you are telling us you went into an innovation agreement because you are caught up with the RAPEX.
No, not RAPEX. I was saying that we were caught up in the innovation. Yes, the process started, I think the process was about to start in the former UNRWA to process procurement of a new O&M operator under new terms. And these terms would require that we have a system which incorporates cashless payments because of the current challenges which are there.
Just, I know what you're saying, but just for the record, you went into an innovation agreement because when UNRWA was going to advertise, RAPEX came in, and then you didn't have time. This is what you're saying?
Yes, this is part of the thing. And the
okay,
time was
what is an innovation agreement?
The time I was saying is...
What is an innovation agreement?
The innovation agreement was when Aegis requested that...
What is an innovation agreement?
It's changing of the employer, like we changed from former UNRWA to Minister of Work.
When did the contract for Aegis resume?
I think it...
Just a minute.
I think it started in 2021, I think May 2021. And
when did you sign that contract? In May 2021?
Yes.
So 5 years, when did it expire?
I think it was last year.
When did you sign the innovation agreement?
8th May.
8th May 2021. 2026. And the other agreement was expiring in May 2026. So it means they went into innovation is like a takeover.
We wanted to find continuation.
It's like a takeover.
Yes.
So they took over Aegis when they were left with about, I would say, 12 days to expiring of the contract.
I think they have the details of the request. Those specific details, I think Joan and Isaac can provide. When
it's simple because we don't want to derail you. We just want answers.
The details, Chair.
Honorable Swaka.
Chair, I want to be very chronological. The contract for Aegis ended in May 2026. What I want to know, whether you are rushing, whatever, I know RAPEX happened more than over 1 year back. I want to know from the ministry and my sister, the PS, I don't want to fire you, but I'm constrained. But did you advertise to get a new service provider? I wanted to look at that advert. If you didn't, can we know who proposed Pinnacle and on which technical justifications? And Chair, may I know from the minister and our clerk, maybe the minister, who are the directors of Pinnacle? So we need to know, because sometimes we need to know who are the directors of Pinnacle.
But I think, the Chair, since someone is here saying it belongs to Pinnacle, should we be able to tell you who is this director?
Yeah, through you, because these people are on your side.
Okay, I've given them permission to explain. Who is your director?
Yeah, Chair, I'm still building. One, I want to know. The minister is very good, is conceding. Chair, I need to know the contract for Pinnacle ended in May, for Aegis ended in May, and Pinnacle came in before even the contract ended. So I need to know why. And Aegis, now that your contract had not ended, did you make a formal complaint? If not, can you reverse back the money because the amount we were paying you included the 12 days. 3, Chair, may I know the advert which brought the extension, an advert for the new service provider? Can we know how it came?
Answer.
And 2, if the advert was there, they can veil us with the evaluation and the tendering process, how they came to Pinnacle. Others want to thank Pinnacle for the work done. So I want to get those 3 issues. Thank you.
And project manager, Isaac, you talked about we are saving money, this is performance based. So even the 122, they didn't get all of it. We held some because it's performance based. The innovation agreement has a tune of 36 billion for a period of 1 year. Is this true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. Now, if the innovation agreement has a tune of 36 billion, did the Solicitor General clear this innovation agreement?
Yes, the format was actually from the Solicitor General.
Of the innovation agreement?
Yes.
Okay. The Lady Joan, you have a very good report that states so many discrepancies, it is challenges with the previous contract. But you're now telling us you rushed because there was a RAPEX that happened even almost a year before. You had already gone. You were already seated in the ministry. So what rush were you rushing for? Even with your own engineers highlighting in this year challenges with this contract. What kind of rush was that? Because even signing an extension was based on you being satisfied. So why are you satisfied? Regardless the rush. Just for the record, I was satisfied. Or we were satisfied.
Chair, we did an evaluation in accordance with the KPIs of the contract. And we have a report that was the basis of extension. The challenges that were in there were also honored, and we also had mechanisms of how we are going to mitigate them.
Can we have a copy of that report?
As they look for it here.
Kindly send it. We are going to analyze it. Don't worry. You just send it and they lay it for us on table. Engineer, you complete the rest of the questions.
Yeah, Chair, I wanted to highlight a bit on the innovation and the contract. The innovation under clause, I think 13 in the contract allows for assignment of the contract to another party. Now, under that clause is what we quoted and sought guidance from the Solicitor General. Now, the Solicitor General guided that instead of an assignment, the assignment can only be done through innovation. Now, what innovation does is that Pinnacle inherited the rights, obligations, and all risks that were attributed to Aegis from the start of the contract. So, in short, there was no advert. Pinnacle is extending as though it was Aegis. That's what the innovation agreement implies.
Chair.
Can you give us the copy of the Solicitor General's approval? We also need approvals from the Contracts Committee regarding Pinnacle.
Chair.
We'll provide that.
Chair, as the Minister lays, Chair, Honourable Minister, Chair, I beg your indulgence. Maybe you take, I want to ask Honourable Minister. Honourable Minister, that letter was signed by the Solicitor General or for Solicitor General? That letter was signed by
himself, the Solicitor General.
Okay. Now, Honourable Chair, you know, sometimes these technical officers stampede the Solicitor General. Why was there not an advert? And they said the contract allows for subcontracting or what? Within the time not beyond the 5 what? The 5 years. Your contract says Ingis. So Ingis is the one who got for you a contractor. In short, you are confirming what members are saying, that there is no difference between Ingis and Pinnacle. So, Chair, I want to know, does that contract of yours allow, you call it innovation, of someone beyond the contract period? It allows within the contract period, Chair.
Yes. Now they extended the first one was innovation to complete and transit a company into another company, which expired around 21st May, if the period is right. 24th. Okay, now thereafter they give a new contract now. That's how it's supposed to be, not so?
So, Chair, my question, and this one goes to Honourable Minister. And project manager, did you write to the accounting officer that the contract is ending, and the contract officer, the PS, did you write to the PS that the contract is ending?
Yeah, Honorable Member, we wrote to the accounting officer. We also presented to top management of the ministry.
Sorry, we go slowly. Chair, kindly. So you wrote to the accounting officer?
We did.
That the contract is ending?
When?
Chair, to give a recap, Aegis indicated that they wanted to novate that contract, I think about a year prior to when we novated. But we went through all the processes, and just like you know, the processes take a bit of time. That is why it climaxed towards the end. But the process, we can provide a detailed chronology of when the first request came in and the steps that were taken until we finally novated.
Chair, mine is not about Ingis. Ingis, they did it for us, good one. You as the ministry officials, you wrote to the accounting officer that the contract is ending, and you copied to the head of procurement. Did they respond to you that because the procurement or PPDA is what, that you go in a new innovation without advert? Did you write to the accounting officer notifying that the contract is ending, we want a new person, or you said the contract is ending but we want to exceed with this one?
Honorable Member, the contract has had an extension clause of 2 months for the O&M. For 2 years, sorry. For 2 years, 60 months, and then extendable by 2 years. Yes, the O&M. So we wrote to the accounting officer. The accounting officer subjected that request through the contracts committee, and there's a minute to that. From the contracts committee, we submitted, the ministry submitted to the Solicitor General, and the Solicitor General issued a clearance. It is when the ministry went ahead and novated the contract. The Solicitor General actually provided the copy of the novation agreement.
So, Chair, he says 2 years, but you gave 1 year?
Yes. Yeah.
At a cost that was almost twice, because the first contract was 122 billion for 5 years. This one is just 1 year at 36 billion. The first one would have been, on the conservative estimation, about 24 billion per month. But this one is 36.
Per month?
Per month. No, per year. For 1 year. A period of 1 year.
So, Chair, I think the officer should provide. And my sister here has very many files. Yes. Honour Chair, can we know the letter they wrote to the PS, and the PS what advice made, and the head of procurement, especially procurement? Because Honour Minister, some of these people, they have, my sister here has everything.
She doesn't have. We shall bring that one. We shall write
you want to see the contents of the files?
Yes, we need to see, because, Chair, somebody will write to the PS. You know, PS, they are very busy. You say, we do this, we did this, and they say handle. When they say handle,
Now we are running out of time. Most of these questions we want in writing, the entire document. But there are issues I'm going to ask very briefly, and you give a yes or no. You have, you don't have, and we go to data analysis. Because data analysis is very important to have both parties in the same room. The Deputy Chair, then Honorable Fred.
Chair, a quick one to Engineer Isaac. Was there due diligence conducted to verify the capacity of Pinnacle? Was the due diligence conducted, and do you have a copy of that report?
Chair, the assessment.
EG is telling you that the darlings will not be enough. As a government, we needed to conduct independent due diligence.
Chair, the reports that we presented, the basis of the extension contains all those details.
Due diligence?
But if there is more, there is not a particular due diligence report, but there is a report which guided us on the basis of which we extended the contract.
Chair, through you, our
so there's no due diligence.
There is no due diligence.
No due diligence.
Is that what you are saying? Was there due diligence on Pinnacle?
They are not.
Chair,
I see what they're saying.
Chair, this Pinnacle is a subcontractor, has been a subcontractor who has been actively participating in the O&M contract. And amongst the reports that we gave from IGIS, we had all the details of what Pinnacle was doing. So it was more or less an internal process because we knew whatever dealings were on in the current O&M.
So in short, there was no due diligence.
There is no particular due diligence report, but there is an assessment.
Okay. What we wanted was due diligence. So it is on record, there was no due diligence. Okay. Thank you.
Honorable Bangura.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I want to thank you for the good work you're doing, but also thank the Honorable Minister for the wonderful work that you're doing and the ministry at large. I come from the accountability side, and as you appropriate, I will be waiting on the other side. But I have been incited to come when I was listening to these very big figures here. But I just want to ask a simple question. We are all here in the interest of attaining value for money where necessary, but also saving resources to help us run government and its infrastructural demands. In the 5 years when we had this wonderful pattern of ours, were there intentions by government to build its own capacity to take over? Because you can see it's like we are in a channel of donations. We are just continuing to donate. Now you can see from the 126 chair has rightly said that we have now turned to 36. So didn't we ever think of building capacity of our own in these 5 years to run these systems? And then I will just leave 1 or 2 questions with the minister, and I leave this wonderful engagement to continue. The Honorable Minister, you know that I run a border constituency which is between Tororo, Uganda and Kenya.
Are they in regard to the issue
we
are handling?
Yes, it is in regard, because now we are talking of tolling, and I'm coming to that. Yes, and it happens to be the main artery that this country has in relation to generating revenue. Here we are talking of revenue. We are now distributing the revenue generated, and that's Malaba. But my problem is the congestion there, the accessibility to the border. People are saying even if tomorrow you put you toll those roads, they are willing to pay in order to generate more revenue, but also to develop our infrastructure. How I wish you could stand your foot and convince His Excellency the President that tolling of roads across the country will support us build infrastructure, but also mobilize resources. You are now doing roads within the suburbs of Kampala. Now, those roads have been slowing traffic because of their nature. They have been slowing traffic. Now that when the roads get fine, what is going to happen to the main highway leading us to to the Central Business District? What plans are there to access the Central Business District? If it is tolling, do it. Because even world over, we have tolls run by big nations. What plans? I am foreseeing there's going to be too much jam to access the CBD, because all the suburbs will push cars in 2 minutes. Someone has reached the main road. 2 minutes, someone has reached the main road. So let's look at that, such that we are able to move on and support ourselves. Finally, in 2020, as a roads committee of Tororo, with a very wide road network, we sent a letter to your office requesting some few key roads that are linking us to other districts and are very, very highly busy roads to be taken over by the center. But to date, over 5 reminders have come. Chair, kindly handle that. Thank you.
Do you want them to respond? Let them respond. We want to go to data analysis. Okay, Honorable Fred and Alex.
Thank you, Chair. I want, as they respond, the contract of Pinnacle now. Who signed this contract extension on behalf of Pinnacle? As you respond, please you give us. Because that will give us insights into who are the directors of Pinnacle. Because we could be meandering, circumlocuting around, yet everything is rotating on the ownership of the company where the vested interest is. Then lastly, Chair, Engineer Menya mentioned here in his last presentation that Pinnacle was given an assignment. I think we have learned lawyers here. We have 2 distinct legal jargons here. You have innovation, you have assignments. These are completely different things, sir. With innovation, there are 4 features. 1, the new agreement. 2, all parties must agree. 3, the old deal dies. And then lastly, the duty moves. Now the duty moves from Igis to Pinnacle. And when the duty moves, Igis has no responsibility whatsoever after the takeover. Why is Igis here? If this was innovation. Again, you are circumlocuting that Pinnacle was given assignment. Sir, may you elucidate vehemently. I beg to submit.
Honorable Alex.
Thank you, Chair. I just have one more question. And that one more question is on the evaluation of that original contract with Aegis. You articulated very well that you had no capacity then to do such works of tolling industry. So I would want to know, did you solicit for external support for evaluation of the proposals, or you did it yourself, and when you were half-baked? I want to know.
You answer quickly.
On the issue of evaluation, like I said, the level of skilled personnel, the type of Joans, they were given capacity. They participated in preparing the TORs because they did benchmarking and went all over. But what we said was the next level of capacity of doing the actual toll operations. That's why there was lack of capacity.
And I think capacity is that one, is doing the actual toll operations. That's when you will understand what is within the scope of the people who have forwarded the proposals.
Chair.
No. Let them respond.
Yeah, I wanted the directors, and this one should come from the PS and the minister. Yeah, the directors, because they are on the paper. Somebody can say what Swaka is the chair of the committee when the clerk and speaker knows it is the Honorable Park. So I want them to, yes,
the directors
of Pinnacle.
Pinnacle?
Yeah.
Honorable Chair, I see document here, April 2026. It is an innovation agreement between the Government Republic of Uganda, represented by Ministry of Works and Transport, and Aegis Road Operations, South Africa, and the Pinnacle Security Limited. According to the records available, the designated authorized representative of Pinnacle is Moses Mariamujura Masco. It's not Vyarohanga, it is Moses Mariamujura Masco. That is the designated authorized representative of Pinnacle Security Limited. Then according to the records available here, as of May 2026, designated representative of Aegis Operations, the general manager is Ivan Katamba. That's what we have on record. I beg to lay this report to you to verify.
Honorable Fred, you look like you are itching.
The information available when you search for these companies, they are very divergent from the ones the minister has read. But for purpose of this, since he's the one who has laid, it is fine. So this creates a lacuna now, which warrants deeper investigations. Because why these things are becoming, Chair, the largest bulk of corruption is in procurement in Uganda. And why very powerful people put their hands there. And that's why when you try to investigate these things deeper, they want to crush you. I want to extend the same to marry the two with Minister, you were not there when we were interfacing with the Uganda Railway Corporations. Uganda Minister, we realized that 394 Ugandan wagons are missing. Why were they missing? Because Rift Valley Railways handed over to Uganda Railway Corporation. There is no handover report, no inventories, nothing. And a letter was written as submitted by, I think, the managing director. The Minister of Finance by then ordered that handover should take place even without handover report. And immediately on that very same day, the letter was received. So, how different is Aegis and Pinnacle from Uganda Railway Corporation and Rift Valley Railways? I beg to submit.
They're asking you, you are looking at me.
Maybe Honorable, you come again in your question. Also, the English is complicated from you. It is making people get lost. Maybe you come back on your question.
Yes, Chair.
It is a simplified.
I think I was a little bit.
He's just trying to
very
understand
simple.
the difference.
What I'm just bringing a similarity analysis between Aegis and Pinnacle, Uganda Railway Corporation and Rift Valley Railways. Because these are, the two are within your dockets. When we interfaced with Uganda Railway Corporation, we asked for the handover report. It wasn't there. We asked who authorized the handover without the handover report, and then the inventory.
But just ask the question in regards to this.
Yes. Now, with the Pinnacle, you, Engineer Menya, talked about novation and again talked about assignment, and yet these are two different things. So I was asking, who warranted novation? Did the Ministry of Works warrant novation or assignment to Pinnacle? Because if it is an assignment, Aegis completely now disappears and is not responsible at all to what we are doing here, why is Igis here if it was innovation? 2, you have again said it is assignment. If it is assignment, that means Igis still retains the right to answer all the things. Then why do we have Pinnacle here? It goes back to the first question I asked. What is the difference between Igis and Pinnacle? Are the two not the same? Isn't the difference the similarity? I beg to submit.
Honorable, ask and we go to data analysis.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, out of several problems that we have experienced in the country, especially under procurement, we were forced to introduce a new form that takes us deeper to who owns the company, who are the beneficial owners of that company. If an assessment was made, can you kindly furnish the chair with the beneficial owners form, if possible, of Igis and the Pinnacle?
Okay, respond.
That one, we shall provide as requested, in addition to the earlier missing documents to the chair. We shall press for it.
Okay, we'll go to data analysis. But it's very embarrassing, Ministry of Works. You have, you construct a road, you anticipate in 5 years you are going to get about 146 billion from that road, and you give a contractor to manage it at 122 billion. The government is taking just 20 billion. Really, it is very embarrassing. But let's go to data analysis. Pinnacle, you have your data? Microphone.
I would like to ask which data, please.
Data for the toll collections.
Are you referring to the records that that I submitted to you?
All the records regarding collection at the toll.
Yes.
You have it now?
Not all. Right now, no.
Kindly give the committee your collections for the month of January 2022.
Okay.
You just open the laptop and read them out.
Honorable Chair, according to what you submitted to us, this is on page 4 data from the committee, which I think it would also be out of your head, but that data needs to be analyzed. Then this book can answer from the informed consent of view, because you have given us data.
No, Ministry already gave us their data.
So this one on page 4
we are going to show you how we have compared.
How we have arrived at this.
The Ministry already gave us theirs. Now we want Pinnacle to officially give us theirs.
Okay.
The month of January 2022, what were the total collections?
According to this document that we submitted to you last week, it's 2,347,691,900.
Okay. Now, according to the information we picked from your system, when we visited you, we have 2.4 billion 81,744,000, a deficit of 134 million.
Well, I would like to verify that, sir.
Okay.
Was shared with you.
December 2023, what were your collections? We have just sampled 5 months.
The collections, according to this document, were 3,950,124,200.
We have a collection of 4,295,887,000, a deficit of 345,762,800. So your collections for November 2024?
4,212,978,581.
4 billion? 4 billion? Just repeat.
212,978,581.
Ministry of Works, according to the information you gave us for November 2024, what were the collections?
Excuse me, that is for December 2024, not November. I believe you asked for December 2024.
Okay, sorry, give us November 2024.
For November 2024, it was 3,782,319,988.
According to the information we picked from your internal auditor's laptop, there's a deficit of 407 million. Okay, December 2025, what were your collections?
You're saying December 2025?
No, I'm talking about December 2025.
Yes, it's 4,413,283,646.
Okay, now according to the information we got from your internal auditor, we have 4,736,740,000, a deficit of 323 million. Okay, those are just a sample. I wanted to bring it to your attention. Now, Ministry of Works, January 2022, how many vehicles used the express toll?
$482,641.
Okay. According to the number of vehicles we have established from the information we have, you have a deficit of 902 vehicles that are missing. Okay, let's go to, and this is because December 2023 is very clear. Your records and ours are matching. We did a sample and we realized some months actually there's no difference, it's 0%. Let's go to November 2024. How many vehicles used that express toll?
800,245.
We have a deficit of 1,646. Okay. Let's go to December 2025.
924,754.
We have a deficit of 22,860 vehicles. Let's go to May 2026.
846,040.
With what you claim to have deposited, there's still a deficit of a lot of money in billions. Now, actually you should tell us, Pinnacle, is all the money directly banked or maybe there's another account we don't know, just to help us be sure?
Yes, Chair, all the money is banked on the account.
Okay, that's for the record. Minister of Works.
Sure, I'll answer the traffic. Sure, these are big data sets, and I would request that...
We are asking you, because you told us you will verify the exact number of vehicles, there's no problem with this system, The government of Uganda is getting all their money. Now we're asking you, who is acting on behalf of Uganda, on behalf of Ugandans, what systems are you putting in place or are in place already? They actually are in place. Don't tell us what is in the future.
So we have,
since 2022, what systems did you have?
We have an independent traffic monitoring system, which is fully open and accessible anytime that you can pay us a visit.
Where did you get the money to establish that independent system?
The independent traffic monitoring system was installed, was
By
supplied as along in the contract by Aegis.
By Aegis?
Yes.
So it is Aegis' system?
It is a system which is independent.
I am asking you as Minister of Works, in that contract, you were supposed to put measures for us to monitor the contract. Don't tell me about Aegis setting up their own monitoring system and you are relying on their system. You as Minister of Works, what systems do you have to ensure our money is banked, our money is collected, the number of cars are verified?
Chair, one is the independent traffic monitoring system,
owned by Aegis,
which is a system supplied by Aegis but used by the ministry. That's number one.
Two, do you have technical personnel manning that system of Ministry of Works?
Chair, we have IT support.
Are they staff of Ministry of Works?
Yes.
Working with Aegis?
Not working with Aegis.
They go there to just check on the system.
Chair, we access that system even remotely. Even in this room, if you wanted to see what's happening at the toll plazas, the IT person can log in and see what is happening on the toll plazas.
Okay. If you had been monitoring, when the lady next to you did an investigation, you should have picked, because from her report she has also realized that there are cars going through and are not paying. She has further established that there is money that is not being remitted. If you are owning that system or in charge of supervision of that system, where have you been all this time?
Sorry, Chair, I would like to clarify that there are two systems. There is a tolling system, which is actually the one that operationalizes tolling. There is the independent traffic and revenue monitoring system, which is managed by the Ministry of Works and Transport. Now, that report...
Supplied by Aegis.
Understood. That report that you are privy to was instructed by, of course, our PS to check that tolling system, not the independent traffic monitoring system.
You see, it's interlinked.
Yes.
If I can know the number of vehicles, I will know the amount of money.
Yes.
So you don't say they are different. Now I want you to tell us what you have been doing.
Okay. As part of the measures from the contract, which are already prescribed in the contract, every amount that is discrepancy between the tolling system and the independent traffic monitoring system is recovered from Aegis. We have actually given Aegis a demand note before of about 80 million, which we recovered from Aegis. And moving forward, after we gave them that demand note, Aegis put up stronger financial controls to ensure that the money collected is recovered, they self-report themselves whenever there's a misclassification. That report clearly indicated that the transactions recorded from the tolling system were equivalent to the video footage. But it also explained that there were some discrepancies, largely from misclassifications. And there is proof that when a misclassification is identified, Aegis banks that money. If you check the statements, there are indications of when Aegis has banked money from misclassifications. So the ministry has put in place stringent controls with regards to toll revenue management.
You see, Joan, Engineer Joan, we want to know, because for us we have the bank statements already, but we want to know from your side. You are the one supposed to protect us. You are the one supposed to represent us. What system do you have in place to ensure all our money is deposited? You said you are monitoring and everything, but now it has come to our attention, you rely on their data from the software and systems, internal, you call it internal monitoring system that they set up. We want to know, you as a ministry independently, Because who audits the company that is collecting for us? You are engineers. Who audits the company?
So I don't know if I got you right.
Who audits?
Aegis?
Aegis. Whatever I want to call it, Aegis or Pinnacle. Who audits them?
Pinnacle has their own internal audit systems.
And we are aware.
However,
from your side, it is simple.
So
who audits? Don't tell us recently. This has been since 2022. Who has been auditing these companies? Because they are collecting money on our behalf.
I don't know if I got you right, but yeah.
Okay, let me phrase it this way. We know they have a private auditor. KPMG, if I read their bank's audited books of accounts very well, but that's their private arrangement. Now you as Uganda, who is auditing on our behalf?
On behalf of government, recently we had Auditor General.
Recently, because the Auditor General last audited in 2023.
Chair, it is Auditor General audited us this year.
This year?
Yes.
He audits per year?
Auditor General undertook a systems audit on the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway, which was a comprehensive audit. We had an exit meeting about a month ago.
Has that report been published?
I am not sure, but not yet published.
So the Auditor General has just audited.
They audited.
Now, since 2022, who was auditing them?
They audited an entire period from the beginning of the tolling operations to the date they came.
Okay. Yeah. If at all he has come in and he has audited now, of which a report has not yet come out, you as Minister of Works since 2022 when you issued these contracts, who has been auditing them to make sure the money through that period you have even renewed, meaning you are satisfied, but you actually don't have an audited report to prove that our money has been going to the bank? Because even the report you are referring to is not yet out. We don't have it. We have not seen it.
Honorable Chair, like the Minister said, indeed, when RAPEX happened and transitions, we accept that we inherited some challenges and we are ready to be guided.
But that is no, don't insult our intelligence. That is the project manager. He has been saying this is a very good project, they are banking for us our money. So we are asking him on behalf of Uganda.
Chair, I have, like I said earlier, I've been project manager since May last year.
So there's someone else.
Within that year, I actually triggered the report that you have, the 30-day revenue check.
Why? Did you suspect anything?
No, I wanted to be sure of what I'm managing as a person. I wanted to be sure of what I'm managing because this is revenue that is involved, there's traffic and all that, so I wanted to be sure of what is managing. So we sanctioned that, which we would term an internal audit on our side. We went and did a 30-day parallel check on the system, match for match, and the findings are in that report. As you see them in there, we were as honest as possible because we wanted to make improvements.
So you are telling us the mistakes of the past were done by someone else?
Yeah, I don't want to put blame. But on my side, when I came in as a contract manager, it was just my own initiative that I needed to know what I'm managing, and that's why we did that revenue check.
You were there when they renewed this contract, were you not?
Yes, I was.
And you didn't bother to look for an audited report? You just approved. You said, these people are very good, let's renew.
So we did an evaluation.
I don't want evaluation because for us to know our money has been banked, there must be an audited report. So you just renewed based on, okay, the road, the toll is working.
Chair, after the revenue check that we undertook, which results you have with you, you will notice that the discrepancy which is there is misclassification, which is a system challenge. However, the number of records that are recorded in there are equivalent to what we counted. So the system challenges, as we were guided by the Honorable Minister, are things that we are going to improve going forward. But on my side, as the contract manager, from the 30-day check that I undertook, I was satisfied that what we found within that month was actually equivalent.
Who gave you the data you used to evaluate? Where did you get this data?
We had access to the system on a daily. We were there present, working alongside Aegis for 30 days within the toll booth and
I want to bring it to your attention that we also went and had access to that system. But this time from the internal audit. And with the help of CID and the company of some members, we also retrieved that, which I believe is more or less true. Because this is from their internal audit. And it's totally different from what you have. Instead, what you have is the same as what they have submitted. Totally different from what we got from their internal auditor's laptop. Deputy Chair.
Now that
Chair,
is oh sorry.
Like my colleague said before, that expressway itself is a very fantastic innovation. But the problem is just this issue of money. Chair, I want to tell you what's happening in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They will just say, for instance, Engineer Tio, you are going to collect first taxes in the entire West Nile. And it will be up to me to disclose to them how much I have collected. And the moment I say I've collected 30 billion, everyone kneels down and starts clapping. And they salute me without any controls on the audit. I still maintain my position at the beginning that every lucrative mistake has got its stakeholders. There are people benefiting from this project. How long is the current contract of Pinnacle remaining? About 10 months?
Yeah.
I think
one
of the worst mistakes in Uganda will be that in the next 10 months, we've not developed our own capacity, or we have not handed over the collection of this revenue to a competent entity like Uganda Revenue Authority. That will be the worst mistake we shall have made as a country. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Maju.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Before I'd requested for the articles and memorandum of association of Pinnacle, I've been going through them. And in those articles, there's no article that allows you to collect money from the toll gate. That is corruption, number one. The procurement team, I want to see the faces of procurement team if they're here. They are not here because they are corrupt.
Honorable, that's your conclusion?
Number two.
Hours will be made in
Number
this
two.
court.
I will ask for the experience of Pinnacle, because that's the basis of getting the project. So that means you did not meet the criteria. That tells us, I want to borrow the words of my other honorable colleagues, that this is a deal. So it seems this deal is a deal of people of Ministry of Works and Transport. So that's why you also extended this project when the Pinnacle did not, perform well in the last years. It's because you wanted your deal to continue. So we have now known that, through your chair, if procurement was here, I would have asked that they write us a statement as to why they gave a contract to a company that did not even have experience. That even in the articles of memorandum, in their own articles of memorandum, did not have this specific bit of collection of money from the toll gate. Thank you.
Honorable Imaju, then Honorable Fred.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, for the time that we have spent here, I think I first of all want to categorically state that from my perspective, we are not getting satisfactory responses, and I think that speaks a lot to the kind of inquiry that we are doing. But Chair, since we are looking at the system, I have two critical questions. Number one, when you look at the contract with Aegis in 2021, there was a specific requirement for Aegis to actually give this country an automatic vehicle classifier. That is part of the things that they were supposed to do in the contract. They were also supposed to provide an overload control system, and they were also supposed to provide road safety attenuators. If you look at the contract, those items were valued at about 1.6 billion Uganda shillings. I can confirm confidently that these systems were not procured or they were not implemented as per the contract. So I'm just curious to know why these deliverables for all that period of time have actually remained unimplemented, and there is no one who is raising a red flag, or if the red flag is being raised, no one is actually following to see that we resolve this. Or they have been warned. It could be true. But I would also like to know, are there any sanctions that we have given to Aegis or Pinnacle for breach of contract? Because this is loss to the people of Uganda. Chair, Joanne spoke about two systems. She talked about the toll. She talked about the tolling system, and then the truck and revenue collection. Chair, I also wish to bring to your attention that when we checked, we actually established on the toll system the unsupported toll exemptions. In the system, you have about 9,777 toll exemptions. When you convert that into our currency, it's about 53.8 million. These toll exemptions were granted without actually any supporting justification, 9,777. Additionally, you had about 16,175 free passage transactions, and those were worth 106 million Uganda shillings. All this could not be verified. Now, I want to know who actually authorizes these exemptions. Who is that person who is in charge of authorization of those exemptions? And then why would nearly 10,000 unsupported exemptions be permitted or ignored? Chair, I beg to submit. There are so many questions. We will go according to the subject matter of the discussions we are having. I submit.
Just some information. When we asked them during our visit with some members here, there was a month where they had about 4,000 exemptions. And when we asked, they said the president's convoy is the one that is exempted, and ambulances and fire trucks, if I remember well. Now the question is, how many times does the president cross, and how many vehicles does he use a day? Or how many ambulances roughly cross that road to have 4,000 exemptions? in a month. But we shall know. Honorable Fred.
Thank you so much, Chair. One question will go to Joan and Menya. The two categorically made it clear here, and it's on record, that they have very stringent monitoring systems in place. I'm asking, can both of you account for the discrepancies? With the stringent monitoring systems you have in place, can you account for the recurrent discrepancies? That is one. Then the second one is on Igis Pinnacle, which is now Pinnacle Igis. You extended the contract of Igis through Pinnacle, okay, in the name of Pinnacle, at a cost of 36 billion for 1 year. Yet in the previous 5 years that the contract of Pinnacle ran through, it was 24 billion per year. What motivated you to accept the cost of 36 plus billion for Pinnacle for 1 year, and yet in the previous 5 years you were accepting at about 25 billion? What motivated you, if there was not in any way vested interest? I beg to submit.
And you know, in a year, according to the calculation, we are making about 42 billion. Now they have given this contractor 36 billion. So Uganda is going to get, a conservative estimation, about 6 billion only. Honorable Waluswak.
Honour Chair, every contract usually has a performance report. May I know from the minister, now the PS is in charge, whether, because I wanted a presentation from English, I'll also want, because I have questions for them, whether for the 5 years they have a minimum of 5 reports, at least yearly performance reports. Because this is a big project, on our chair. It is supposed to be a minimum, I think, quarterly. Whether you have quarterly performance reports from English, and also whether the project managers have the 5 or the quarterly performance reports to the respective accounting officers. Finally, Chair, this contract was signed at 36 billion. May we know, how did you derive at the 36 billion? What technical, technique did you come up to have the 36 billion? This is what we want to know. How did they arrive at the 36? Yeah, because Igis is international, is from France, even consultants fly. But now Pinnacle, which comes from whether Butaleja, they come, walk, and their cost is high. Because Igis puts in the dollar exchange, those losses. I know you are laughing, and in our culture, when you cross the Nile, you talk the truth. Even this man here, Menya. So, Honour Chair, can we know how they derived at that? We are trying to help the country. And Chair...
And the 122, how they got to it?
Yeah, how they got to it. As someone who caters for interests of PLOU, members, especially technical officers, usually when I talk about PLOU, don't laugh because we are in charge of the country. can we know how this money, because Chair, this money, if it is brought genuinely and it goes to the national coffers,
let them explain.
Okay, Chair.
So you can explain, but also, since you say you have been monitoring, because we have already done an analysis of the traffic from 2022 to date, we have already gotten to a point as a committee on the growth of the number of users of that express, even when it's reflected in the collections, from about 20-something billion to 30 to 40. But when you look at the growth, the number of vehicles has now, the growth has dropped. If you have already done that analysis, because for us we have done it. So have the cars reduced on the express? Have they got an alternative route? Because the growth was high, but now the growth has stopped. It is now declining. So people are no longer buying cars. You explain. Honorable Emma, you have something?
Yep. Thank you. During our visit, we identified the generic user accounts such as the admin, maintenance, and the tollies, as well as passwords that never expire for all the 274 applicant users. We discovered that your passwords never expire. This weakness undermines accountability because actions cannot always be attributed to specific individuals and increase cyber security risks. Question: why were the generic accounts allowed on a government revenue system? Why do all the user passwords never expire? Who approved the security configurations? Have there been any unauthorized system access incidents? What corrective action have you taken on that? Number two, allow me, Chair, to raise my second concern as I summarize. My second one is that we discovered that that day there are only about 500 records that can be exported at a time, because the system stores a lot, millions of the records, but we discovered that it's only 500 that can be transferred at a time. This limits investigation analysis in the time of trying to discover what is happening with your systems. Now the question is that, why was the system designed with such a restrictive export functionality? Does this limitation affect the oversight and our investigation? Because maybe you're trying to hide some things you don't want us to see. That's why you've kept it like, so that we transfer 500, then we hide the rest. So we want to know why. Is there a plan to improve on this? And we want to ask, was government aware of these limitations before accepting the system? Thank you.
Kindly respond, but Joan, during your private analysis, did you come across a situation where in some months the number of vehicles is not equivalent to the amount of money by class?
Chair, I beg to seek further clarification, because the revenue is against the payment mode. So the number of vehicles can be 50, but if 40 pay cash, then and 10 pay using card, there is a different payment regime for the card.
Yes, we have classified that already, because the data we have shows those who have paid cash.
Yes.
So the question was, did you come up, it's a simple question just for the record, Did you come up, did you find an anomaly in the amount of money per month versus vis-a-vis the vehicles per class and those that pay cash?
Purely against those that pay cash. Whenever we have such anomalies,
did you find in?
Yes, we found some
Okay,
anomalies.
that's enough. Can you respond to the questions?
Chair, one small thing. I needed these officers because I'm on the supply of these equipment which count and what the technical. Can we get to know when English supplied whether those items were put in the stores, the goods received, and the technical person who verified what they supplied? Because why I'm bringing that, Chair, I want to know what they supplied vis-a-vis what the Chinese contractor already installed. And through you, Chair, if they can bring that contract of the Chinese, you will see that he had supplied everything. This one here might have been either air supply, or you get one item and do double accountability. So if it's there, can we know whether the internal auditor verified, whether the user department then verified, and whether the stores, because it's part of government, you supply on government, whether it's part of now of the government. Thank you.
But the accounting officer, you're very peaceful.
Chair, I carried these technical people to explain these technical issues. But the one thing that I request
is the microphone on?
Yes.
Okay.
Chair,
you are speaking peacefully as well.
We are doing our best to improve the system. We've even appointed an accountant, she's here, who now does daily reconciliations. She's there, Rowena.
Where is Rowena?
So, Chair, we are trying to improve these systems. We acknowledge there are gaps, which our own report has pointed out, and those are the gaps that we are trying to close. But we have also indicated that from all these, we are going to now advertise for this contract with new terms. That is what we are doing. And Chair, we assure you that by the time this contract ends, we would have advertised and gotten a better deal than what we have. So we are doing our best here to improve on our systems. That is all I can say. The rest the technical team can explain. And about systems, I would request the manager ICT to also explain about the records and why the system has restrictions. I thank you, Chair.
Chair, clarification maybe before.
Clarification.
Thank you very much. I want to draw your attention to page 4 of this, because we asked this question, but I just want to draw your attention to page 4. There are specific areas looking at the collections, the revenue, from Jan to May. You will notice that on the percentage difference, we did not as a surplus, but that is supposed to be a deficit. So those percentage differences, please consider them as deficit. And then through you, Chair, if I could just ask my last question for the day and submit for the team to respond. So when we also looked at your statements, the financial statements, yeah, specifically 2024-2025, 2024-2025, there is a revenue variance of about 22.49 billion. 22.49 billion. Yeah, I don't know if, engineer, you picked that in the review. We just want you to explain why you would have such a big variance.
That is when?
2024-2025 financial year. Yeah. We just want you to explain that, and that will be my last question for today. Thank you very much.
Chair, has now Pinnacle brought its system? Because the other English, they brought a new system and their money was 24 billion. Has now English taken away the system? If they are using the same system, how come somebody who has not brought a system is being given at a higher what? A higher rate. So in India, I start with that one. Someone who has not brought a system, who has not brought the equipment, or they have now brought. If they have brought, can we look at what the auditor looked at? And you said you are agreeing at the same. So can we see? Thank you.
Respond. Thank you, Chair. I will start by breaking down the contract for Pinnacle, which is the extension. Under the contract, we have items A to H, and one is performance-based operation and maintenance, which is valued at 11 billion. 11 billion divided by 12 months is roughly about the 1 billion that we've been paying Aegis. We have the one-off design.
Engineer Isaac, yes. I read that contract, especially the one with Aegis. You are supposed to be giving these people money quarterly. You are giving to them monthly.
Yes.
Why?
There's the conditions of contract were in contradiction with that quarterly payment. So there was a clarification which was got from Solicitor General, which okayed the monthly payments. There was a contradiction in the contract. So there's a record.
Can you send us
onto that?
Solicitor General's? Give it to us. Joan has many files.
We'll clarify. We'll submit the internal reviews and that gave to that okayed the monthly payments. Yeah.
Okay. Joan, we may have to see what's in those files. But you at the end we will need to see what you had brought for us.
Right. The next part is the one-off design and construction works, which is 1.667 billion, and then there is a 10% contingency. No, this is for the entire contract. The one-off design and construction works, as the honourable member rightly said, one of the items which wasn't concluded was the overload control system, which we haven't paid to date. The reason was that we failed to find a suitable place to install the weigh-in-motion bridges that are accurate for enforcement. So we decided to go static. It's the reason we haven't paid this money. 10% contingency on the above, which is 2.35 billion. At measured road maintenance works. Now, at measured road maintenance works, you realize that the Entebbe Expressway is not fully fenced off. Of recent, we've started getting stray animals, some people daring to cross. You should have seen ex-posts. And we intend to open the boundaries of the expressway and then continue the fencing all through. So part of it is here. Secondly, this also covers the physical damage due to accidents of the guardrails and the lighting. That needs replacement, otherwise the expressway would get dark. Improvement of road safety signages, plus a host of other ad-measured works that improve the performance of the road. Then E and F, the 1.2 billion and the 3 billion is a contingency amount, and then a physical contingency, and the other one is a price variation. Price variation is only on the ad-measured works. We don't have a price variation on the performance-based operations. They are fixed lump sum, and they've been fixed ever since 2021, despite the changes in the market dynamics. And then lastly, there is a VAT component, which is 18%, which is 5.5 billion. So the 36 billion is
an outstanding amount from what we had paid Aegis at the time. And there is no guarantee, which is a question, to answer the question that was put to us, that we probably owe Aegis 67 billion. We do not. This is a performance-based contract. It is paid as you perform. So there is no guarantee that this 36 billion is going to be spent within the next 10 months. It has its own accounting centers here that as we spend according to performance. Just like we managed the five years and we never exhausted the 122 billion. That, Chair, that is the clarification on the 36 billion.
Can I get, maybe I peruse through that so that the people of Taleja can ask some additional questions as they answer the others. Through you, Chair.
Please.
Yes, PS, I think.
And Honour Chair, as he gets to another, it is now clear, as per your presentation, that Aegis actually did not perform to the satisfaction and therefore never warranted extension. Now, we have extended at a much higher cost. Why?
Honorable Fred, in addition to that, it will look like Aegis now said, we have mentored a child here. He's called Pinnacle. I highly recommend the new child for you for adoption. Therefore, there was no need for due diligence. They just pressed enter and the contract was produced.
Honorable Alex, lastly, then.
In addition, do you see at this rate, do you see yourselves going to pay off this loan in the next 30 years? Actually now 25. When you are creating expenses on daily basis. Thank you.
And you know, the fact that you committed us to such an arrangement, for example, now 1 year, our average revenue from those tolls is about 42 billion. You have given a private contractor 36 billion. All that loss we make in interest, someone must account for it. I'm just giving a heads up on what is going to come at the end of the report. You can answer the questions.
Chair, I just reiterate that the 36 billion is not an expenditure of 1 year. In our report, the annual report that we shall present a copy, we have the summarized expenditure per year. And
what was the total sum of the contract for 1 year?
The contract is 5 years, Chair.
No, the renewed one.
The
You
renewed
renewed
one.
for 1 year.
It's a performance-based contract.
Total sum of how much?
It is 36 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can proceed.
Okay. Maybe to give the assurance that we made a total revenue projection where we indicated the projected revenue, and like we said, right now we stand at 28% what we are spending on maintaining the road compared to what we are collecting.
What was your projected revenue?
Chair, we'll have that.
For this 1 year, before you gave out this 36 billion, what was your projected revenue?
Based on the performance of last year we generated 47 billion for the entire year. This year, if you factor in the 5% increment in traffic, assuming all market dynamics remain the same, would go to somewhere beyond 50.
Have you looked at the collections from January to June?
Yes.
What is the amount?
The total, I don't have it offhand. It's somewhere in the reports, but we'll provide it.
Honour Chair.
January to June is 22 billion so far.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you are projecting how much?
Chair, we have peak times where we get this, where revenue increases.
Yes, we have seen the graph. That is December.
Yeah. This year had the challenge. If you remember, January was one of those months where movement was restricted. That affected us.
Okay, let's base on the 2 years.
What was your total collection last year? It's in the same range, nevertheless. And that January didn't have challenges.
2025 was 47 billion.
Chair, on the document which the officer gave me, I was trying to get guidance from the clerk. Chair, it is what? It's 5 years. Okay. Honour Chair, this document, is this the original? Is this your original?
That's a copy, but it's not different from the original. That was part of, it was part of the innovation agreement, but we split it. So but we shall we shall submit.
Is it the original?
No, it's not.
Okay. Because Chair, the document is submitting here. It's not even signed. Nobody can own it. Even I was asking the clerk, maybe you take, because I have questions, because tomorrow.
You ask the questions as they sign.
So, Honour Chair, the questions I was raising, because the 122 here, the contract, they said contract scope, the 122 million engineer, is it for 1 year, for 5 years? The first column, second, this one here.
That is 5 years.
Okay. This is the 5 years. Then the last one is for 1 year.
Chair, I beg to give some clarification in relation to that. The 36 billion is not a new contract. It's an extension of the Aegis contract. So we could not amend the contract sum. But there is no guarantee that we are going to spend the 36 billion in the remaining time of 1 year. We are not in a rush.
36 billion is
Yes.
a new contract. We reason as to why it's a new contract. Did you get approval from Solicitor General?
It's a novation of the contract. Chair.
Yes, but it is a new contract. The novation is different from the 36. The novation was a transition of two companies. And that was just before the expiry of the old contract. Now the 36 is an entirely different contract for a period of 1 year.
Chair, the contract never expired. The contract was extended before expiry.
Yeah, but extending a tune of 36 billion, that's a new contract. To who? Because the sum has changed. Okay, explain to us. Let's assume we are not following you.
So that we refer.
The document which is attached there, the 36 billion is an outstanding amount on the 122 billion contract. And in that table, there are 5 columns in there. There's a 122, there's the cumulative payment made, then there is the outstanding amount that formed the 36 billion. And that's the clarification.
So, Honour Chair, from what he is saying, the 122 was for 5 years. But by the end of 5 years, you had not paid the 36. That's why you went to Solicitor General. You say, okay, there is a way we want to get this money. They call it vetment. They call it what? The term is called what?
No, it's not environment, sir.
It's called what? That new reversion, novation. They went to Solicitor General that, oh, we had our money remaining here. You just innovate so that we get that money. I think this is what, because he said, because you were wondering, how did you come? He said, oh, because there was this remaining one. So they are just innovating to make sure the contract amount is what? That's what I wanted. The money, the contract had expired. Even under those circumstances, all the money had not been exploited. And what you did was to take to the Solicitor General, you wrote to the accounting officer, since they are busy, you say innovate so that all that money comes. That's what I wanted to get. Thank you.
Honorable Fred, but we need the documents you submitted to Solicitor General, which will guide us on what were your intentions.
That's clear.
Bwana Chair, thank you for the time. Throughout the presentation and my questioning, I've been asking for the difference and the similarity between Aegis and Pinnacle. At the tail end, now our good brother there is coming to the realization. He said this is not a new contract. It is an extension. This is a simple word for all of us to know. Extension, meaning that you are moving on with the old, but you are giving him more time. But you are saying Pinnacle now is in charge. So this is innovation. Novation completely changes the parties or terms, sir. You don't confuse the committee. With novation, there are 4 salient features. Number 1, the duties move. What does it mean? Both the rights and the duties move to the new party. So the rights and the duties have moved from Aegis to Pinnacle. But again, you are telling us that you have just extended. Sir, are we proceeding well? Next, another feature of novation. The old deal dies. What does this mean? The first contract no longer exists. Why are you confusing this committee? That's why I used the word circumlocute in the beginning. And now I want to add that you are not only circumlocuting, but you are creating imbroglio to the committee. This is a total confusion. You're confusing us. You are saying extension, you are saying new contract, you are saying novation, you are saying assignment. What exactly did you do? Did you extend? Did you assign? Did you novate? Be clear to the committee so that we get on record and the country can get value for money. I beg to submit.
Okay, don't circumlocute. Explain.
I'd say I'll start from the last, which is to clarify once again that we innovated a contract, as the Honorable has rightly said, meaning that all the rights and obligations were transferred from one party to another. And to be precise, that is from Aegis to Pinnacle Security Limited.
Madam Chair, basing on what he has just said, if you did that, why has the cost now skyrocketed from 24 to 36? Why? Explain.
So after novation, the ministry was, I can say this, that we needed a bit of time to develop the electronic toll collection system. So to give, but the services and maintenance on that road needed to be undertaken. Otherwise, if we had left the contract to end in May, we would be now running around trying to manage collecting the tolls. We were not ready to take on that one. So the best scenario...
Just for the record, they constructed the road for 5 years. You knew there was going to be a toll. You were not ready after the 5 years. You give a contract to a private company for 5 years. They finish collecting. You are not ready. So now you have added another year because you are not ready.
So yeah, the contract provided for extension. It's not a clause that we introduced
No, those were your words.
the other day.
Those were your words. We were not ready.
Yeah, but the contract provided for extension of the O&M. And there are several circumstances that could lead to extension of the contract. In this case, that was one of the reasons, but we needed to have an electronic toll collection system before we enter the next contract. So after novation...
Clarification.
Only the small inquiry there. Now, if it was an extension and Aegis was still there, Why didn't he extend that one of Igis, which was at 24, instead of bringing Pinnacle of 36?
Chair, the contract, there is no difference in contract amount. If you add what Aegis was paid by the time they exited and add on the contract of Pinnacle, it comes to 122 billion. We can verify that on the contract. The contract amount hasn't increased.
So what they are telling you is they carried the entire balance into a new arrangement. That's what is. Isn't that what you have said?
Yes.
And also, Chair, maybe.
Chair, then why can't they be clear and tell us that there is no difference between Pinnacle and Igis? Because if they are saying extension and it is the same amount from Igis to Pinnacle, why can't you be very clear and say Pinnacle is Igis? And we leave that one, we know.
But
we
Chair, according
Honorable
to
Alex, then Honorable Walswag.
Thank you, Chair. Now, the 122 billion was based on performance. It was performance based. And it was meant for 5 years. And you are lucky you have saved. So why do you want now to go again to spend the balance? That is one. Then number two.
He said they were not ready.
Because now it was meant for 5 years. And it is performance based. So why do you say there was a balance? Did you have that money kept somewhere that it is meant for, or it is taxpayers' money coming every year? And it's not a guarantee that it must be spent. Then the other one, if it's performance based, it can go. You are saying that not all of it can be used. But if you find somebody smart, because you are allowing him, 36 is the maximum. If you find somebody smart, he will account for all that money and he will take it. So why do you give chance to some people who are smart? So all of it, I don't think it is right, Chair.
You answer this at once because we have run out of time.
Chair,
Who has the...
there is
Just-
something. Okay.
They'll answer at once. Who has the signature mandate? Because we are analyzing the statements and we are seeing very many withdrawals and transfers. So who has the signature mandate of the account in Stanbic Bank under the name Uganda National Roads Authority Kampala Express account? You want me to read the number? I believe it's... are there many accounts? Okay, account number 903-001-2349-318. Who has the signature mandate? I'm sure you know this.
Thank you, Chair. We have two accounts in Stanbic Bank.
I have read specifically number 903-001-2349-318.
Chair, through the acting permanent secretary, the principal signatories to this account is the PS,
Who is that?
the permanent secretary,
Who is that? Who is that?
Mr. Waisu Abageya, and Madam Barbara Namugambi.
Who is Barbara?
The
Oh, you are here. You are the one who has
Then-
been withdrawing?
Then the alternate signatories to the account is the Assistant Commissioner Accounts, Emily Birekeyaho, speaking, and the Principal Accountant, Muhanji Martin.
Okay. The amounts in the interim payment certificates are inconsistent. What is the rationale? You'll answer at once, because I believe there are very many questions. There was an internal transfer to an escrow account of about of 22,212,916,364. Similar, on 23rd June 2026, there was another debit of 11 billion 445 million 11 billion 445 million 394,432. Can you give us the details of these transfers and debits? Lastly, what is the collection method abbreviated as APCUG on that bank statement? What percentage of WHT charged on IPC varies, and what is the standard rate? Honorable Swaka?
Chair, on the document, my brother, from, if I'm not mistaken, from Chavazingalan, what he said, there is a value of a one-off design and construction works. May we know what Ingis was going to design and construct in the contract? Because, Chair, this road had been designed and well constructed, a new one, and they paid 23 billion 23.7 billion of design and construct. May we know what Ingis was going to design? And they said construction works, despite the fact that the Chinese company had just completed the construction works. Then too, since it was a one-off and it was paid, can we know why even the new contract, the other one had a one-off, in case they did, it was at the measurement, they saved money. Why are you giving another, this one in the contract, this one-off design and construction to Pinnacle? What are they intended to design and build? Chair, that's what I wanted to bring.
Chair, on this number 9, which you've just asked, about the bank account at Stanbic, we are generally aware that government is now supposed to operate a single spine account. Were you authorized to open this bank account at Stanbic? And is the copy of the authorization there? Thank you.
Okay, and as Honorable Maju comes in, there are many questions, but you know this thing is really disturbing us. We are supposed to pay 350 million that we used to construct that road. Is this true? Okay. In a period of 6 years, if you have given the other balance, this contractor, assuming they spend it all, they are going to have taken 122 billion. How much have we paid of the 350 million US dollars, which is about 1.3 trillion on a conservative estimation? If we have given a contractor 122 billion, how much have we paid for the road? That one you can just say it off head. You know it, you tell us. In 6 years, how much have we paid for the road?
Honorable Chair and members, I do not have the figure off head, but we can provide that.
No. You know, because you are managing, and for you are even a signatory. You know how much you have been transferring. So you tell us, in 6 years, we have given a private contractor 122, but of the 1.2 trillion we spent on constructing the road, we have paid only this amount.
Honorable Chair, our obligation is to transfer money to the escrow account, but we will establish from Ministry of Finance, because they are the ones who repay the loan. So we shall establish how much.
But you have these figures.
For us, we've transferred 129 billion to the escrow account.
Okay.
That's what we've transferred.
But you don't know how much has been used to pay.
That one we shall find out from Ministry of Finance.
Answer the questions. Honorable Maji, you want?
Chair, mine is just a very quick one because I don't want to lose the thought process we already have on question 9. Just out of curiosity, this account that we have highlighted ending with 18, I know you manage 2 accounts, the escrow and then the control account. Is this the control or the escrow account?
It's the control account. The escrow is managed by Ministry of Finance.
That is the one that is receiving the money from the toll.
Okay. So the signatories, she's the A or the B?
Yes.
Okay.
Honorable, yes, you are not yet asked. Honorable Metrin.
Yeah, thank you, Bwana Chair. My question is just about the collection of money on the toll system, because we wanted at least to find out, because the system, when you are passing, they give you a receipt before you pass. So that money, is it the machines which are eating the money, or someone, or how have they said, really, they have not given us the serious explanation there. But if it is so, what is the solution? What are they going to do so that you can solve that problem? Because it is really complicated. Because once the time I passed there, I said, this is really a good method. Corruption won't come, won't appear here, because the machines are the one accounting. But now it is now getting to my surprise that the machines also are corrupt. Then we are really in a mess. I'm sorry to say that, but I don't know. Are they the machines? Because as if I fail to understand there, maybe we need a solution. Because if it is the machine, let them set properly, maybe. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
What charges would you want to put on these corrupt machines? I'll respond.
Fine, Honorable Chair and members, I will request the contract manager to help on the amounts of the interim payment certificates, the variances, why they vary. Then I can go to number 3. The percentage of withholding tax charged on the IPCs is 6% on IGIS payments, and then 15% on the interest earned. That is remitted to URA. Then the collection method, abbreviated as the APCU, that is the collection, the revenues collected from Airtel. Then on the transactions.
Honorable Chair, any abbreviation starting with the APCU cannot mean collection. Cannot mean collection something. You first explain it well. That abbreviation.
The abbreviation relates to the collections made through Airtel service provider. Yes.
What is it? What is APCUG in full?
Oh, you found it there. You just found it there. You don't understand it also.
No, but
I was told
another signatory is here, who is the acting accounting officer. What is APCUG?
Honorable Chair, we were told that it was used to refer to Airtel collections. So we did not get the full name. It was just referring to collections from Airtel money.
Okay. It gives some clue. A can stand for Airtel.
Honorable Chair and the members, the transactions that appeared on the bank statement on the 5th of May and 23rd of May relate to the transfers from the control account to the escrow account towards the loan repayments.
Okay.
And then the authorization of opening the commercial bank accounts, we request that you allow us to go and, because these were accounts that were transferred from former UNRA to Ministry of Works, we request that you allow us to go and get this information that allowed the authorization of these bank accounts. Thank you.
How soon can you submit those authorizations?
tomorrow?
Latest today by close of day.
But Chair, on that clause, commercial banks in entities, they are discouraged in entities like this. Commissioner of Finance, did you inform the accounting officer that we inherited something which may not be good?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I believe at the time when these accounts were opened, former UNRA sought for authority through Accountant General's office. That's why I'm saying you allow us to get these correspondences.
Chair, I'm not saying there was no authority, but since they got, you know, some of these where it is a commercial bank, you can withdraw money when the Accountant General is not aware, when Bank of Uganda is not what? Aware. I'm asking you as a technical officer, having inherited the commercial bank account, do you think it's the right way to go commercial bank? You as an accountant. If not, did you notify the accounting officer that we got this, but I wish you could go revert back? Did you notify the accounting officer ever since you reverted? Or is it the best way to do commercial banks? Is it the best way, Commissioner?
Honorable Chair and members, we are going to provide the facts.
No, I'm not saying provide. Is it the best way to go commercial in a friendly way?
From your technical
Yes, is it the best way to go commercial
point
bank?
of view and expertise in finance, they're asking you for your opinion.
Is it a better way to go commercial like that?
I think it depends on circumstances.
I mean, in this circumstance of yours, of works, which you understand as a commissioner, because PS is very busy. Technical officers, I'm asking for your technical. My sister, in a simple way, was it a fair way?
I don't have an answer.
So, Honour Chair, my sister knows the answer. I think the better way is the other one. So, Commissioner, from here, you write a letter to the accounting officer so that you revert to the norm.
But all those signatories to those accounts, because you deserve a fair hearing, you have to write back to the committee giving a reason for all the debits on that account. You have the bank statement like we do. You know how much you have been debiting from that account. Give an explanation before we recommend otherwise. So you have up to that one, we can give you up to end of tomorrow to explain each and every debit from that account. Because I had sampled just two, but there are very many and you are aware.
We shall do so, Honorable Chair. I would like Isaac to explain about the variances in the IPCs.
Order.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have noted out of curiosity that the Minister has been missing for the last 1 hour. And given the experience we had yesterday and the submissions made, we are now discussing very critical and pertinent issues. I hope that the Minister is not going to come back and disown.
The Minister indicated that he was not feeling well, but he said they are here to respond and they are not supposed to leave till they have responded. So the PS is here as the accounting officer and she's fully in charge. You respond to the questions. There were many questions.
Chair, I'll start with the inconsistencies in the IPCs. The nature of the contract is that it is performance-based, meaning that we assess the performance of the contractor monthly before we certify what is due to him. And there is no performance. It would have been a red flag if the performance was very consistent in a performance-based contract. But the inconsistencies are because of the various changes. Sometimes you've passed there and found some sections are not lit. When there are lights that are off, we deduct money. So we have KPIs in the contract that we measure every year through a formal inspection. That formal inspection is sanctioned by us, and we go and do a joint verification of what the contractor submitted, and then we apply deductions. One of the deductions that we have been applying consistently is the overload control system, which needed an overhaul, and because it wasn't functioning, we could not pay that monthly performance amount of money, which totals to about 55 million. Then the other ones that vary is due to the cleanness, signage, damaged guardrails that are not yet fixed, plus a host of other KPIs. So that's the reason for the inconsistent IPCs, and they vary in that nature. The other one which I needed to clarify is the 1.6 billion which has been noted to have been transferred into the next phase. That 1.6 billion has never been paid because it was related to installation of weigh-in-motion bridges. As earlier explained, towards the toll plazas, to install weigh-in-motion bridges, you need a flat gradient. But if you notice, towards the toll plazas, there is no flat gradient. So getting a place where to install those weigh-in-motion bridges was a challenge. So what we've decided to do is we need to enforce axle load control on the Kampala-Entebbe Expressway. So we left that money in there so that we can activate the fixed-way bridges and also probably install a weigh-in-motion bridge on the northern bypass, which is a little flat, to control the loads that are going on to the Entebbe Expressway. So that is the 1.6 billion which is appearing there. The financial statement, which was the 22 billion, that I think was between the transition between UNRA and the Minister of Works. If you noticed, former UNRA was closed in the middle of the financial year. So part of the money was accounted under UNRA, and the other was accounted under the Minister of Works. That's the variance of the 22 billion, which is an issue which was picked up by the Auditor General, and it appears in the Auditor General report as well. The other one is the performance reports. We have annual performance reports that are on record. We shall make the submissions, and those reports are comprehensive that evaluate the performance of all KPIs in the contract from January to December. Who authorizes the exemptions? The exemptions under the Road Act gives the powers of exemption to the minister, and in all these other occasions that government has had, I can quote the NAM summit, the G77. Recently, last week, we had the AWSOM. So we write to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, or the entity or the ministry that is in charge of that function, usually requests formally, and we evaluate that, and the minister writes an exemption letter, and those exemptions are deducted, are the ones that sometimes appear as violations at the toll system, because the toll system picks them as violations. But the exemptions are managed through the Honorable Minister of Works and Transport, and they are all documented for all the occasions that have taken place. I'll request.
You are saying that the Minister of Works has the mandate to exempt vehicles from making payments.
Special exemptions, the Roads Act mandates the Minister of Works and Transport only.
Can we have a copy of this list and the dates for these exemptions?
We shall provide that.
By close of business today.
Yes, they're on record.
Honorable Chair, because over the years, the 5 years, we've had different exemptions which we need to put together. we kindly request that we provide by end of day tomorrow.
Okay, by end of day tomorrow is okay. Honorable
Information, Chair. Thank you, Chair. You asked about the APCU.
Members, we have only 5 minutes.
Yeah, I wanted to give that. The APCU account that they are having is called Automated Payment Collection Unit. It was designed by then UNRWA and the Stanbic Bank to enable IGIS remit monies which were not cash, which were paid by electronic transfers and other means, not cash. And Chair, I'm a bit puzzled when you say the withdrawals are indicating the APCU, because it was supposed to temporarily hold money, and then the money was supposed to be remitted to a consolidated account of UNRWA by then, which is now of Ministry of Works. Now, how is the money now being withdrawn from the APCU account? And yet this was just a temporary receiver and then remitted to the consolidated, where the cashless and then the cash monies of the toll, Entebbe Toll Expressway were all being collected. So it brings another question. Where? Why is this happening? Yet the other one, you were not supposed to withdraw money from that account. It was just supposed to receive, and it is remitted to the consolidated account. Maybe that one the permanent secretary can answer.
Chair, as we close, I want my good brother, the engineer, to answer mine. The one-off design. I don't know whether you answered when I had gone, but the one-off design, what did you design and construct, despite the fact that the road was new? And since it was one-off, why are you again giving it in the contract to Pinnacle? What is Pinnacle going to design and construct? I want to know what you designed and constructed, and want to know what Pinnacle is anticipated to design and construct. Thank you.
You have a very short time, and you, as you respond, you tell us the difference between an exemption and a free card.
So the 1.6 billion, which appears under a one-off design and construction works. One-off design was mainly the illumination design before the lighting was done. So under that component, we had illumination design, we had lighting, we had tolling system, we had road safety facilities, and we also had the overload control system. Now, the other parts, apart from the overload control system, were implemented fully. Now, the 1.6 billion, which is attributed to the overload control system, was not implemented for the reason that we did not have the fare gradients to implement the weigh-in-motion bridges just before the toll plazas at the entrance of the expressway. So we have carried that money forward into the next contract. One, we want to activate the fixed way bridges at all toll plazas to control the overload, because we have noted quite significant overloading because this is an urban road. And then two, we are also going to install the weigh-in-motion bridges, preferably on the northern bypass and the Entebbe Duo just before the expressway. Because overloading happens within, not entirely on the road, those roads come from different places to come onto the expressway. So we believe that if we implement those two adjacently, we shall be able to control the overloading. So the 1.6 is towards that, sir.
Chair, I want to, sorry, but this is the gist. Engineer, through our able chair, you said the one-off design and construction works. Which are these works? And in your opinion, the lighting and the others, because the Lord, you are looking at the structural integrity, don't you think it was the most critical? Because Chair, from him, he's saying that they are seeing an overload. Don't you think one time some of these bridges here will collapse. According to lighting and the money thing, to you as a civil engineer, you are electrical civil. What civil? Civil. What do you think would be much more critical on this project? The way bridge? I think the engineer will also answer this. Was it the way bridge which was more critical, or the lighting? So on the one-off, can we know, according to your estimates, lighting was supposed to take how much? Then the other, through your chair, can we know what items were in the one-off design? First count one by one. I wanted to note. UPC, give me a pen. So, engineer, can I know in one-off construction?
Allow us to check the contract and give you the accurate amount.
Yes.
But Joan said she was in school and she's the one looking for.
She's well acquitted. Yeah, Chair, this is very important. Allow me, instead of the paper, this is a book, I'll just take a screenshot of what they want to read so that we be at pace. So that the S6 dropouts also compare with these engineers. You have got it? Yeah, sorry, let me
Okay, maybe you'll have to lay your phone on table. Okay, but these exemptions, as he deals with that, these exemptions as per the Roads Act, Section 8, the minister should only get exemptions by statutory instrument. Where is that statutory instrument? Is your microphone on?
Every time the minister is requested for an exemption, we write to Solicitor General and they issue an instrument.
So you will share with us all those statutory instruments?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, them.
Honorable Swak, have you taken enough photos?
Yes, they only showed me one page of the 25, wasn't it 25 billion? Not so, engineer?
Yes, it is. And the 1.6 is item 2.5.
2 points.
The overload control system.
Okay. Thank you. So, control trolling system. Chair.
Mm-hmm. You want to wind up?
Yeah, they are saying road safety facilities, what are these? Okay. Then tolling system and the independent traffic monitoring system. So, Chair, according to this, it is for English. So, this tolling system, wanted to know how they were installed, the tolling system, and vis-a-vis what the Chinese, because it was express highway with the tolling. So now that you paid this, and also UNRA had paid the Chinese to construct and install. So this one is for another day. But as we said, Joan said she was doing a dissertation. So, Chair, to me, is this and so now, engineer, you think IGIS didn't do this? you think now Pinnacle, the Ugandan, is the one you want to give this most expensive thing to do when the other person who was supposed to do it in 5 years did not do. Now you want English to do it in what? In 1 year? Are you fair? When a French farm failed to do it, or you did not get a site for it to do, and now you want to give brothers Pinnacle in just 1 year? Do you think they will do it in 1 year? Because you said that you have failed to get a place. Haven't you now got a flat place?
Chair, we intend to, after completion of the Northern Bypass, we intend to install the way in motion, one way in motion, on the flat area transiting from Northern Bypass to Expressway. That will give us an idea of enforcement of overload control onto the Expressway. If you notice, that place is flat. And then secondly, we also intend to activate the fixed way bridges. We intend to activate 3 fixed way bridges just before the toll plaza, at every toll plaza from Busega, Kajansi, and Impala. That's an operation and maintenance issue which can easily be, it's a low-hanging fruit that we can easily deliver, because we need to control the loading on the road.
Members, we are going to send
There
that
is,
entire
there is
document.
another thing for skills transfer.
In the contract?
Yes. The way it was. Can we know the 200 million which you gave to Ingis? Which people did they train? The trains transfer. The way the URC was, where did they go? Is it where Joan went for training? What? So, can we know the 200 million for skills transfer? Which people are trained and where? And having been trained, are they the ones working in now the express toll, or you trained the people and they went away? So it's is it 200? In Guinea, you check. Joan is very clear. Joan, it is how much money?
Honorable, it's 200 million.
And which skills were these? And which people? This is where I want English now, since they are here, through our AO chair.
Please.
Yes, English, the 200 million. Can we know which people you trained, when, where, and which skill did you train them in? And how did you choose those people? And if you have, can we have a list and the module and the professionals who taught? Chair.
So thank you very much, Chair. In my position, I wouldn't be able to tell you we trained, X number of people, but I'm more than happy to actually send an email to them and ask them to provide. But what I know is that anybody who was trained was nominated by the employer.
Now, Council.
Yes.
The general manager of Aegis was Ivan Katamba, and is now the general manager of Pinnacle. So he knows the people he trained.
Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, but it's okay if it's out.
Okay. Say it's like Pinnacle is Aegis Uganda, isn't it?
Which is okay.
Let's allow the gentleman to.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. Indeed, that money was paid for a training in India of the project manager at the time, contract manager, and other participants who are. I don't have the exact number. I can get that for you, and there is a report on it. But there were quite a big team. It was a complete package under the.
What do you mean when you say
Okay, the number of sessions they went through under road operations that had to deal with toll operations, incident management, and other aspects of this. Yes,
Chair,
I can be able to get a report.
Joanne, she has information because I have other questions.
Before Joanne comes in,
We are adding a comment, then you come in.
members, you know you have plenary.
Colleagues, let us be clear. When we get external financing and we say capacity transfer knowledge, you transfer knowledge to the stakeholders within the organization that is being advanced the loan. We are not looking for project managers. Those are private people still. The capacity should have come to Ministry of Works. Is that true that they trained project managers of an external firm? So can we know those that were trained internally?
Through you, Chair, I would like to confirm that the 200 million was spent on Ministry of Works officials who are currently part of the project management team. So we went with I personally traveled with the team to India. We traveled to India in the city of New Delhi, and we were trained under the Indian Academy of Highway Engineers. We were trained in 5 aspects: operation and maintenance, structuring of contracts of operation and maintenance, tolling systems, development and supervision, as well as general management of organization of India's organization in terms of their tolling framework. Through that training, a team of, the number is off head. We shall provide, but we were, I have to,
Joanne,
okay, the number, we can get it.
Joanne, the ministry was also facilitating you.
Yes, the ministry paid our air tickets through the 200 million as well as the per diem allowances.
So it was the ministry that spent the money, not Pinnacle or Aegis.
Oh no, through the contract. So through Aegis. This
The money went to Aegis to train.
No. This money is what we call a provisional sum. The contract has the contract manager can explain further what a provisional sum, how a provisional sum is done, but it
No, we just want to know who was managing the money.
Aegis managed the money, but authorized by the ministry.
And you don't know the number of people.
No, we know. I just have to check. Let's find the record.
Were you too many that used 2 aircrafts?
No, I just have to give you a precise number. An exact number. I don't want to give you a number that I have. I just have to check the full list.
Chair, as they get the number, Chair, on this knowledge transfer, which is very good, can we know from project manager, though you have just come, but Engineer when you were there, my sister was here when UNURA was running. You remember in Entebbe Express Highway, you people of UNURA could not even copy the PS, even the minister. That's why you diverted the road to a swamp. Now, yeah, it is on record. But can we know from you people, why do you think English is from France? Why did they take people to India? I want to ask you now, English. Because you are from France? The document we saw here was South Africa. Now, why did they go to India? Why did you... who wrote you a letter to India? Was it UNRWA or English? And why was India? How does India come in? Because English is the other side. We need to know from you.
Chair, why these people were taken to India is just because of slight similarity in the operating environment. Because the other one is close to, in terms of development and in terms of systems, and they were still setting up. But if you went to a country which has advanced systems already, you would not learn better. So that institute in terms of curriculum and in terms of what India was doing, it gave us modules which were relevant to what we were looking for at that time for staff to get skills in.
Madam Chair.
So on that one, Chair, I am the one who raised.
Okay.
Chair, Engineer.
Can you, that is the last question.
Yes, the last. Engineer one. Are you the one who selected India or it was English?
No, it was the team searched around to look for institutes.
Which team?
Provide the team that went for training. We tasked them to search for institutes which would give us opportunity to get the skills that were required at that time, and those are the.
So who selected India? This is what I'm asking.
The ministry selected India.
UNRWA selected India.
Yes.
And why, when this man was in, when you say operating environment, there must be something. But the good thing, he went for training. Chair, we need a copy of that training report, the people who went. And but there is some skill from other people like Joan, which is okay, but we need to interest ourselves. Yes.
Okay, thank you, Chair. As they are telling us that they went for training in India, and I'm happy that they trained and we shall not have more problems again. My inquiry is one. Was India part of the areas that we benchmarked when we were coming up with the proposal of having that toll, the building, I mean the road, with the road tolls? Because I'm sure this is where you benchmarked. So why did you go to train in India when you exactly had countries where you benchmarked?
No, honorable members. Deputy Chair.
PS, Joan is going to be a good institutional memory for you. I've seen her transporting a lot of memory from UNRWA to Ministry of Works. Joan, when was that training conducted? Not the date, but just the period. You can say around this period.
Around March 2024.
Close to 2 years ago.
2025, sorry, 2025.
And you still don't have capacity to maintain, despite the training we gave you expensively. You went for training, you cannot still run the system yourself?
No, first of all, sorry, I would like to maybe clarify. We were 12, including staff from NITAU. But the objective of the training was more on tolling system structuring, and maintenance would need a much bigger scope of people. We were only 12.
So we want to charge you with the responsibility of ensuring that as this other contract of Pinnacle ends, you will have designed our own structure.
Okay.
2, and lastly, Pinnacle, are you there? Are you the same company doing some water project in Okolo, in West Nile?
No, sir.
Is that a different Pinnacle?
I believe so.
You are very sure?
That is Pinnacle West Nile.
There's a Pinnacle in West Nile.
I'm sure, sir.
Which has failed to compensate project-affected persons.
That's not us.
That's not the good Pinnacle, you?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. We shall find out.
Okay, so we are going to submit more questions, and we need written responses. Every response must come with a supporting document, and this is to your benefit. Similarly, Pinnacle, these financial variances, we are going to submit everything in detail. Everyone deserves the right to a fair hearing, and you respond in writing. Every response should be not later than Wednesday next week. On Wednesday next week, we are going to have a visit to the toll, because we must do it in order for us to complete our investigations and our report. We will come in 2 groups, and we shall pick any of the 3 tolls, 2 tolls, to visit at the same time. So this time it's not a surprise visit. This time we're informing in advance. So you prepare to handle 2 different teams at the same time. At any toll, we may pick out of the 3. So make sure all the responses, even these ones we have given you, every response must come with a supporting document. Otherwise, we are going to make a recommendation that may affect you. From the onset, this mess is caused by our people, I mean technical people. Because you see, Pinnacle is seated there, they have asked them a very few questions. Their issues may come with transactions on the bank. That's where the main issues, but yours, you are the ones who got us in this mess in the first place. So from the look of things, UNRA, Minister of Finance is also going to come and respond. We are going to also invite Solicitor General. So you had better submit those documents as soon as possible. This report must be completed by Thursday next week. So whatever you don't give us by Wednesday, we have tried our best. We have given a right to a fair hearing. The questions we think are not clear, we are still going to send to you. If you don't respond, that's not our problem. That means you have foregone, you have forfeited your right to a fair hearing. What we are doing is in the interests of Uganda and Ugandans. We have several tolls coming up. Don't think we are witch hunting anyone. We want to clean. Whoever was responsible for getting us in this mess must be uprooted even before other tolls are set up. So we have served, we will serve, and we will be of service. I wish you a nice day and a good afternoon. Any question you need to be responded to, we are going to put it in writing. Kindly share those questions with the clerk. Is it a lacuna?
It will be probably 900 and something million. And I'm surprised. So ni ke kopa gore le tlhalose gore 900 million yo company ya ga Rest Valley e tla be dira eng tota ka gore the 300 million, around 300 million a seng a idueletswe nna ke mo diragatsi ga ke bone sepe sa se dirileng, to be honest. Ha nka le kopa le ntse yana lotlhe gore ba ba lebellang Family Feud about the feud about the one ke bo man ga o e lebelle ba tsona ga ba itse ba tsona ga ba e lebelle mo go dira 300 million so far. Steve Harvey chairman a ke tsene ila hatle kwano a batla yone contract a mpo yone project e ona galaletsa studio Cisco BTV gore state of the art sisiame serleng. I'm shocked gore aba sa khona go shootela gone mo studio se go BTV aba go shootela ko Africa Borwa kana gore ba ne ba ile le yane ba ne ba nna go di hoteleng ko Africa Borwa ne ba reka dijo ko Africa Borwa it is a mess. Ena ke le tsang gore le lebe go settle out of court le Steve have inele ruko Africa borwa re tseng bana ba rona bo monna rona ba ba tswang dikweleng. You might even find gore ba rutegile go gaisa ene Steve Harvey ba rutela the creatives. So nna ke kopa gore a le ka ske le ba lebe project here. Let's save the remaining 600 million. Thank you.
Okay, Honorable. I can just confirm or tota mo gompieno we are engaging Labour Ministry of Finance with a view to realign, explore or to what extent can we realign the project to the prevailing situation ya the financial resources with a view to see what if option is botoka ke go tswa kana go tswelela re we the cost and benefit of both scenarios to help us reach a stage e leng gore re ka ira definitive determination ya gore ra ema kana ra tswelela. We are that's what exactly where we are mo gompieno.
Me a le dira jalo engageang badiragatsi ba Botswana bana le the association le bone ba le gakolle. And one thing that I want to point out Corey kana dio tse dingwe tsa ga di a dirwa ke lona Stephen Motlogela ke gona a tsenang ana director le wena gongwe no so dio tse di diragetseng di dirwa ke government o duleng ha go gona gore di ba ka nngwe ntswetswe. My next question, so le tla leba gore a tota janja bo mafegazene ba teng mo Afrika Borwa ngwana rona. I don't think Steve ha mo gaisa mo go kalo so tswetswe ne re botsala kana tautona ke bua la phatla tautona o duleng o na bua gore ke tsala e tona ya gare Steve Harvey so e ka re di dule ka botsala go me a re boela ko banem ba bodiredi bole ba radio ba di newspapers ba bua gore bone all along ne ba itse ba hirilwe all along ka gore se ne ba se neelwa ne se taxiwa a ke itse gore a go etone gore service provider a taxiwe mo pay as you earn. Normally you don't do that because ga ka le bua ga hirwa permanently go ngwe le tlhaloso gore ka bone ba bua gore ne ba taxiwa maybe le ba bua gore le yone taxi e tserweng ya didactilweng ga ya gore ga go bes kore dilo tse dingwe I think re di bua re di dire with intention to correct how ka neng go le phoso teng. It doesn't help anyone, yourselves as accounting officers le rona ka kwano le government gore a go la re bona gore go bosigo e be re tatalla re go motshegare. We are actually embarrassing ourselves sometimes. So ba re go ne go didactiwa lekgetho mo go bone ba ne ba bolela gore they cannot work anywhere else gore ba bereka gore elo ka gore ba tsewa nako engwe le engwe le hane ba sa sola re ba tla tsewa. So here you are o hirile batho mo nakoneng e seng kae go ngwaga mme ga o batla ba bereka gope ga kere wena kere gore system e be sa batho ba bereka gope sa bohelo mo go yone a se se diragetseng a se tsamayelana le a ka mmala bone re hetola molao wa phiro ko parlamenteng a di a tsamayelana because re hetotse molao ga nna gore go ne go nna go hirwa batho go te ba bereke 6 months ba bereke 1 year go eme ana ke tsore a le emisitse pele ga molao o nna teng o le emisitse morago morago ga molao o mme arabe tsone tse pedi tseo ke tla botsa bogelo Mostilo.
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. Gongwe re ka tlhalosa hela gore or even plead with the committee to say the affected people, they did make representations to our minister. Jang Minister you know what? Let's find a solution to this issue. Rest guy dismiss more technicality. So we've since engaged the Baron Abadi PSM AG to advise us to a solution it should be amicable. That commitment is by the wayside. We are still on our table. That is just that only the idea. By now we should have long maybe closed it. We had to dig back to the file. It's the payments. It's could present our counterparts back to our AG. That is how we are dealing with it. Just to show the seriousness and commitment, I applied there by Pelaitzi.
Thank you very much. The last one, last question.
Yeah, so wa khele mo ya go bo fegase ne ba teng a le ka ya maleta le considerable batswana ba ba leng teng ba bana le experience ba ba rutetswe ba na di masters.
Thank you, Chairman. Nyami kidungana lo ena honorable mo parlamente. Re mo thulaganyo nya go dira commissioning process rona re dumela gore ba dira hatsi ba teng. Just 2 nights ago, on a film a local crew, a completely local crew, but it's to global standards. It is the belief of us that there is local expertise and local talent, and of course, even Akabo member Ferguson. It's sufficient to have a local industry sustainably, and that's what we are working on as a national broadcaster. We're working on a commissioning process, engage a local, purely local creative industry. So we agree with you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that response. More so that NRS divavi le culture rona ga itse gore ke mo America wa modimo ya la ko ya bo hello
mo mantse ro tule mo
nya 900 million national housing appeal ya president ke tsa gore the former president bong Ian Khan, His Excellency o dile tiro e entle thata wa khile kra yone ya project whatever it's called e dile tiro e entle thata but ke tsa gore ne se his personal initiative ampo tiro ya gagwe me ke bua ka Setswana ne ke sa tse gore ke ya gagwe ya gare kgama ne ke tsa gore ke ya government with the hope ya gore president o latelang le no ka continue ka yone a ga gona kakanyo ya gore tautuno le nteng le ene a encourage ampo a tswela ka yone ka ne thusa ba tswana thata mo go ageng maybe le ke tlhakane le ya disaster national fund gore tota a re ka ntlhagelwa ke mathata a matona le hatse a madi a leng teng a ka kgona gore a thuse lehatshe ka gore ne re bona e kare ke bo 19 million mme ka re gape ebile ga se gore o teng go ha re ka nna le mathata se gateng sebetso ha re ka nna le sebetso sa tlholego a re itsetsepetse sentle financially those two chairman
National Disaster Fund
housing
and the National Housing Appeal is inactive as we speak.
ha e le gore ya discontinue ha e le gore go ne go bonala gore e ka nna le mosola why can't it continue? Yeah.
Nya mo go yone ya national presidential housing appeal, that's how in a video ka teng it's ile initiative ya ga Rekgama e le gore o reisa madi from the private sector gore ba koleke ba donate e be go agelwa batlhoki matlo ao ya re ga go tsena re Masisi kore nako ya ga Rekgama it was more of almost like parallel to government in a directly under although the setup was such that go tserwe committee neng ena le bo radikgwebo to manage it in a lebega ena le it was doing a lot nako ya teng ya re ga re nna le transition to nako ya ga Remasisi a bona ele mogopolo o montle e ba re no o bata this initiative in ya botauto na botlhe and then we restructured it now into a special fund into in it's an assembly mo dibukeng tsa government mo gompienong it's inactive in that we need to establish a committee that would manage this fund with the governance structure. Saying we
committee.
That I would admit for Lebonia, but it's we need to have a structure, governance in terms of transparent, accountable process. Who benefits from the keep funding and criteria eliminating or assessing eligibility. So I think that even the Tautona is alive to the project. It's one resuscitate. Minister o re go tlile gore re sengwe ka mo nako e khutshwane about it. Gone mene itshegile thata ka donations from the private sector. In a attract a lot of participation because it was visible. You remember the launch every time go such houses. A lot of publicity, and that helped to mobilize.
Wouldn't you think or someone is sitting on his or her job because Bono housing scheme or whatever. It just started last year. It's on and it's up and going. How long has this particular fund been inactive?
Honorable Chair, as opposed to Bono is funded directly, while this one was based on donations from the public. So the pace implementation may be looking like Bono they are better because they are resourced. I think the starting point is having a governance structure around the fund.
So, Tota PS, you are saying, Tota Mekialo Kirochal Leone. You this inactivity ione yale change lona, so you need to put forth a governance structure for a lepe. Akiri ukare kanya. Nikita gore gari ga ntse alo tota se ana tsenya ka sone mo parliament ke gore ke o kare go bonyanyana mmene ke ina le maduo. I think that is the issue. Re ka tswela pele la araba tse dingwe. Ne tota na buile ka National Disaster Fund gore go italo mo dibukeng mo another 19.5 million, you said, and I already have 19.5 million. And disaster fund day, already equipped to deal with a disaster that may arise. Disaster hit next. It can hit the magnitude of COVID. So, me, 19.5 million. What to go in one national disaster fund. I think that was the question.
Gone ya disaster.
Ngopila a yaraba che. Re botsa gore is there madi a teng a re fancy so a beile mo account go kana it's part of the consolidated fund. Mo ile gore ka re go re a tlhoka e ba seo.
Yeah, relevant.
Yes, thank you for that. Ke a special fund. So I be more funding ela le go. Eleng gore le interest it's a interest. I think gompieno ga se bo 27. Na? To 26 is sitting on 26 million. Ngwaga le ngwaga we replenish it ka 5 million.
A Harlem thing had 26. Or by then, or 19, 23, 24. So let's say
5 million every year.
5 million. The mess doesn't add up. I lost 5 million from 23. 5 should be going at over 30. But anyway, address the question.
Are we in a place where we can deal with any disaster that may arise? Depending on the magnitude of the disaster. We've come to become accustomed to the regular floods. Even the affected people within this fund. It was just COVID or it came at a magnitude
I anticipate disaster. I mean, even look at a foot and mouth, for instance. It's a disaster of sorts. But already, Minister Rana, we are about talking 97 million, at least at the last time he addressed us. But when our hand me, 26 million. Unless me, the disaster at some level, some floods, and maybe we don't quite appreciate what you're not doing.
Sorry, Chairman. Can I get to add? Kungaya kana super hore madiati. Can I get a hasoro kungay? I had this committee statement. I submit a statement there as in this super comment. Honor already root to hell or madiati. Research has a best. I think.
Is in order. Or has statement. You know why? Because engagement in your name. Who got this special fund? Who for accounting purposes. Mariate one how about Takamuso? How one because as a consolidated fund, other the maybe the piano has purchased Makwayana, whatever I get to or Madia with special funding at the consolidated funding. So if you could give, you said you looking for a statement.
Yes, thank you. Yes, sir. To provide
what will you be looking for here? A bank statement?
A printout. Yeah.
A printout.
Yeah.
Accountant General, Auditor General, is that something that?
Bank statement that confirms the balance.
Bank statement that confirms the balance. But Nikibator Liwe Accountant General, you want to help?
Yes, Chair. I will need some clarification on that because what I know is that I don't think whether it has a separate bank account. I need to be confirmed. What I know is most of the special funds, the money are being in the consolidated fund.
Okay. So, a separate statement.
Yes.
As far as you know.
That's why Chair Ricky print out the particular account.
Okay. So what are high lorry? The pages mapa for a chon at Tatar Lil Hat. If our Madia Akanabasi. Is that the import of your statement, Accountant General?
Yes. because of liquidity, so we might have them in the books, but in terms of availability of funds, there will be a challenge.
We are facing a liquidity challenge to the extent that half of a consolidated fund, and I don't record as member the special funds I could take. For our current we are talking about special fund, Borita was your good.
Because we are losing the essence of my question. I think drift the local. I want to be satisfied regarding the
Can you allow us just to finish that one? Okay. We understand. You are guarding jealously against you.
Thank you.
The erosion of your question.
Yes.
Accountant General, worrying. Kaya eling hakihor. Madio na akwala mo di special funds. Waragu consolidated fund akir. Yan halu consolidated fund. Harle le hatse rapa ro kele chono. Khora gore madia aka diriswa ditiro tse dingwe hela tse consolidated fund di dirisa tswa.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Janu,